you moving, keeps you vibing, keeps you moving, keeps you vibing, keeps you moving, keeps you vibing.
Dangerous, no, I don't back down, don't back down, don't back down. Leave your heart laying on the ground, on the ground, on the ground.
Keeps you moving, keeps you vibing, keeps you moving, keeps you vibing, keeps you moving, keeps you vibing, keeps you moving, keeps you vibing.
Dangerous, no, I don't back down, don't back down, don't back down. Tell me who the killer now, killer now, killer now. Left me dry in the deep end. Spill my guts on my feelings. Left me dry in the deep end. Thought this would last forever.
Keeps you moving, keeps you vibing, 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 keeps you moving, keeps you vibing.
What's going on? What's going on? Yeah. Get this shit up. What is up? What is up, good people? It is motherfucking debate night over here on the porch. Over here on the porch, we are going live and direct.
Make sure you're streaming on the porch, because when I clicked on the thumbnail,
Yeah, it wouldn't let me. I don't know why it's not letting me. It's not letting me. It's literally not letting it start on that one yet. So I don't know what's going on with it. I tried a couple times. I just gave up on it. Well, didn't really give up on it, but I don't fucking know, man. It's weird why it's not letting me start that stream. I don't get it. Connect streaming software to go live. It is connected, bitch. Hold on. Oh, that's why. That's why. Hold on 1 second. I had the wrong. I had the wrong.
Yeah, you're on regular YouTube. Your vert is still not.
I hit the wrong button. Okay, gotcha. Stop. I hit record. That's why. Dumbass.
that's a fact.
I hit record like a dumbass. Holy shit. What is going on? And my goddamn Alexa don't want to fucking work. Yeah, don't talk to me about Alexa. That bitch ain't listening today. That bitch about to get punched in the throat. Literally punched in the throat today. How are you? Oh shit, y'all could have told me I wasn't. How y'all guys doing? Shit. Yeehaw. Let me get TikTok up and running real quick.
You about to get banned from every platform in one day. Congratulations.
Yeah, all at once.
Fact. That's how I do it in the A. You know what I mean? Let's get banned all together.
We're gonna be X only.
How the hell? Oh, you just cut them off. All right, yeah, we X only today. We listen. This is how I do it, man. LOL, Uncle Tom has a lot of monkeys on that wall. That's a fact. You don't know about them monkeys? What's going on TikTok? What's going on YouTube, Facebook, X, and Rumble? All at the same goddamn time. We over here murdering it right now, son. The only thing we need to do is go live on Kick, and we straight. Well, at least that's what I say. Is that other one live yet? Shit, let me see if it's live. Oh, no, it's saying I can go live. There we go. There we go. Now we can go live on. Now we're live on everything. Now everything's cooking and frying with pork grease and chicken grease. What's going on? So how you guys doing today? Y'all ready for this debate?
Not really.
Not really. Why not, sir?
Should be interesting.
It should be interesting.
No, it's not. It's two old white men.
Which one is your zaddy, son? Which one is your zaddy? Which one you?
Well, neither one of them is my god, but Trump is my uncle.
Uncle Trump?
Yeah, Uncle Trump.
You think he gonna put it in him? You gonna think he gonna put it down for that 99 and A?
I think Trump, he dialed it back a lot, probably too much. I'm just curious to see. I asked y'all a question earlier. What was the over under of Biden calling Trump a felon? But then I say if Biden go there, he can be like, yeah, I'm a felon like your son. Or he can really hit below the belt. You should be a felon for taking a shower with your daughter. But he won't do that.
Don't say that.
That's what I would say.
Thank y'all for being over there on TikTok. You know, we 5 strong on TikTok. We don't never get too many people over on TikTok, you know, unless I'm cussing someone out or I'm on someone else's platform getting banned or kicked off. We all running on every platform right now that we got except for Kick. Soon that will be up as well. I'm gonna throw that up there and get it. I'm actually utilize both these computers for real. What's up, the Watcher, Dahlia, and Burger? Yeah. What's going on, you guys? We are just getting ready for this debate coming up pretty soon. I will be streaming it. Let me see. What am I gonna do? What's going on with my thing? There we go. All right. There we go. There we go. So y'all don't just see me. We do got other people over here. If you look at my if you're on TikTok, you can see the other people that are on the panel with us. Unfortunately, I can't show the comments because I gotta have it big. So if you see this, this is what you see on TikTok. We got 3 people on our StreamYard app. If y'all want to get involved, I will drop that link as well. But until then, we up here winning. What's up, Pookie? The real Pookie's in the building. We got Butterfly Jones in the building. My screen froze. Oh, it probably did. We got Lorenzo in the building. Tip is in the building. Big Mo is in here. Said President Donald Trump 2024. I want to know why y'all think he gonna win. I'm telling y'all. Listen. What's up, Lawrence? Yeah, I got everyone. That's in here that I see. What is up with you guys for the shit? How many I got on? I got 8 on. What the hell is that? X. We got 8 on X. Ron's in the building. The white lady's in the building as well. You think he's gonna keep it peaceful, PG? I think he's not gonna do it. I don't think, like I said, I think it'll be a detriment for Biden to come out and say something about him being a felon. Just because it's not a good look. It won't be a good look. Now, I will say, I don't put it past Jake Tapper or Dana Bash to do it, but I don't think it's gonna be Joe Biden that's gonna.
You think they're gonna ask him about how he feel about being convicted 30 something? I mean, if they do that, in my humble opinion, that's gonna skyrocket his donations even more.
Well,
like they need to stay away from they shoot themselves in the foot all the time when they do stupid shit like that, because all that's going to do is make his supporters, not me, because I ain't giving no white man a dime, but even though that's my uncle, I mean, let's be family, like my cousin Mayo right there, but my daddy would kill me if I give a white man some money. But all that's going to do is make people love him more. So they should stay. If they don't want him there, don't do it, because time and time again they show that this is what happens every time they try to hit him with a scandal or hit some shit below the belt or try to throw him to the wolves. People give him more money. You would think they would learn after damn near 8 years to stop doing the dumb shit. You would think.
Pookie says the only way Trump wins is if the Dems don't vote. Good point. It's going to shock the world if he wins. It's going to shock the world if Trump wins. I don't think so. No. I don't think so. The reason I don't think it's going to shock the world because most people expect Donald Trump to win. If he loses to, and that's just like Bowman losing to a nigga with a crooked eye. So I won't put it past him if he loses. Again, it is what it is. Just expect 4 more years of dumb shit. Both ways, if you really want to think about it. To be honest, I think one way will be a lot easier than the other, but you're still gonna go through the same dumb shit because on every turn they're gonna try to get him out of office. They're gonna try to do this. Especially if he doesn't win the House or the Senate. Oh yeah, it's gonna be scandal after scandal. They're gonna try to do the same thing they did before. So it's gonna be the same shit show, different person. That's what I think. Mayo, what do you think? Since you're the only white guy up here right now. Oh, let me drop the link in the chat. Let me drop the link. I don't know why I ain't drop it yet. Here comes the link.
I'm looking forward to the obvious bias from Jake Tapper and Dana.
And Jake Tapper is supposed to be a Republican, right? Is it? No, that's not Jake Tapper.
No,
that's the other dude.
No.
That's the other dude. What's his name? Him and his wife.
That's the MSNBC dude.
Yeah. Him and his wife both on the same network. Yeah.
Well, him and his now wife. They was married to other people when they started working there.
Oh, okay. Hey TikTok, if y'all want to join the stream join the stream, here is the link for that. Just click that there, and it'll bring you over here to the StreamYard. If y'all want to come up here and give your opinion on what y'all think and who y'all think is gonna win this. Who do you think is gonna win the presidency? Whether it's Trump or Joe Biden, me doesn't matter. Right now, the reigning champ, the champ is here. I wish I had that drop. The champ is here. Joe Biden is a champ. He's a reigning champ right now.
Let me ask y'all a question.
Go ahead.
Who do y'all think benefits more from not having an audience there? Because it's weird. Because
that is weird.
Let me.
Because
So
some
my
people play off the crowd. So
that's what I was about to literally say. So Trump literally plays off the crowd. Like, he's a showman. This is what he does. Biden is a moron. So he needs to be handled more. So who do you think that it put? But Trump also he also arises to occasions when he needs to. But who do y'all think? Who do y'all think it benefits more not having an audience there? Because this is stupid. It's weird as hell.
It always benefits. It would always benefit Biden in that aspect, because most of his crowds are not big at all. They're most what do they call intimate settings with people. So I would say that. But here's the thing that my wife sent to me that was sent from off White House. I don't know if it was .gov, but it was my wife sent it to me. It says, and I read, the White House press corps has petitioned CNN to open up the debate studio to reporters who, for now, have to watch their feet from a building across the street because they believe there may be a medical emergency involving one of the president's candidates requiring on-scene coverage. What the fuck do you think about that? Do you think it's weird?
I think they're getting ready to get rid of Biden before the election.
They want to be able to feel the on-scene fucking problem, and there's nothing wrong with that. Because what they're literally doing right now is participating in fascism to the actual definition of fascism.
It's elder abuse what they're doing.
Well, besides it being elder abuse,
I mean,
if y'all want to join this live stream on the vertical stream, it is going to be pinned to the top, and I'm going to do it on the horizontal stream as well. Just give me a second. And go ahead, y'all. Go ahead. You go ahead. I'm just going to pin this shit.
Who you think is going to benefit more, Mayor?
I think it'll actually help Trump focus.
Really?
If he's not playing to a crowd.
Interesting.
Because he's not getting feedback.
Okay, I can ride with that.
Joe, I don't think is going to know whether he's got a crowd there or not.
Whether he knows it's there or not, I think if he's got to stick to the script that they're going to put in front of him. If he goes off that script, because you already know he has the questions to the damn test, what is going to be questioned. So you know that's going to happen. He already has that, and he's prepared for that. And then they're going to throw in. You already seen the questions that they actually leaked to the.
Oh yeah, and I guarantee you, any questions involving numbers, they're going to feed him the numbers in the question.
If they better not give him numbers, they better leave it like 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion. If he got anything 165 billion, it's a wrap. He gonna say 165 billion, 200 trillion, $322.22. He gonna fuck that shit all up.
Hopefully they got his meds straight for today, so he can stay cognizant.
Hey, they got them meds on deck, son. We got them shit straight already before we even started. Joe Biden 2024.
I really think Trump should have demanded the drug test.
You really think that was gonna happen though? I mean,
it'd be interesting to see how much they want to fight it.
Interesting. I think
CNN's going to go for it because CNN's going to want it too.
Well, I don't think anyone's going to doubt that he's taking something.
Yeah, they said it was taking something from the get-go.
Yeah, but people just want to know what.
I mean, probably stuff that they can't get administered anyway.
I can agree with that.
Y'all think they're gonna have the balls after they leak the answers to the test to literally give those questions out after everybody? You think they got the balls?
They'll still give it.
Oh yeah,
that'd be crazy.
They'll still give it.
That'd be crazy as fuck.
Yeah, I know, babe. I was doing that.
Well,
that would be the definition of fake
do you have
news.
that link that had the questions?
I wonder if you could put it up.
Let me
do with you, Ron.
I want to see
if they actually ask those questions.
Hold on, let me do this real quick.
Yeah, because I doubt they're smart enough to get to leak, and I'm doing air quotes, to leak the questions, knowing that they had separate questions. I doubt it.
Well, I think they did that for a distraction.
No,
that's my point.
they haven't shown to be that smart.
Well, here's the deal. They have to be that smart because that was literally a distraction to get that. We're gonna give him questions like this, so everyone can hop on that, and then we're gonna give him the real question to begin, the real shit to begin with. Oh no, that's not that one. Not that one. Give me a second. I gotta find it. I sent it in the back chat, and I gotta get it. Where'd I put it at?
LA, to your question though, it most definitely is a benefit to Biden. It hurts the crap out of Trump.
You think he's really gonna put up a good enough fight where he can hurt Trump outside of just talking about 34 counts?
No. I don't think Biden can hurt Trump. I think not having the crowd hurt Trump. Because Trump most definitely.
Good luck for Trump not having a crowd.
They took it off. That's crazy.
Why you ain't screenshot it?
I don't know. What is this called? Smart News? Oh my God, that's bullshit.
Resler, I'm not saying that Biden can hurt Trump. I'm saying not having a crowd can not having a crowd hurt Trump.
Unless that entire crowd is full of libs, there's not a crowd that's hurting Trump right now.
Let me see if I can find
it. Well, Trump's personality is he feed off of people.
You know you got your own personal copy of it, right?
Wait, John. You believe
that
Trump needs to feed
I
off
found
of
it,
people?
sir.
Oh,
in
that man's charisma.
Play the video that you put it on.
I forgot about that, OG.
You never forget about it. We record everything, so we always have.
We do record everything.
I put it in the back, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I know he has charisma, but in a crowd setting, he feeds off of people, though.
All right, we got Lawrence with the $5 says, "Hello, John. I really missed you. How are the cute fluffy bunnies doing?"
Oh God!
I know.
The heck?
Boy, Lawrence be on some bullshit. Go ahead, John the Baptist. Answer. The man, he paid his money. Answer.
All right.
Oh, you gonna skip that? That man paid his $5.
You don't never answer his question. All right. So, what question do you want to read? See first.
What kind of fuzzy slippers John the Baptist got?
Oh my God! Shut up. So the first question that they got is: this week, your administration reached a plea deal with Julian Assange and the embattled whistleblower who partnered with the transgender activist Chelsea Mann to expose evil misdeeds committed by George W. Bush and other neoconservative war hawks. Someone online commenters are praising the decision as the most significant act of President courage since Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863. How do you feel?
Oh my God!
How do you feel it?
That's not a real question.
How does it feel to do the right thing? That was a question. That's what they said.
How does it feel to do the right thing? That's not bias at all, is it?
Dude.
No. And then the next question was: you recently said, this is for Trump. You recently said, if elected, you'll give a very serious consideration to pardoning Assange. He is not only a suspected Russian spy who helped to steal the 2016 election and deny Hillary Clinton a chance to make history as America's first woman president.
Yeah, these aren't real questions. These aren't real questions.
They're not.
You think so?
They're not. Just the way how they're phrased. No, they're not.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not
You
real
never
questions.
know. Oh, it does say satire right there. Okay.
Yeah, that's not real.
Yeah, well, it could have been. You never know. I didn't read the top of it. I scrolled down to where I knew the questions were.
I might get pushed back off of this, but if they did put out questions for them niggas to answer on the televised program, what would be the problem with that?
Not supposed to be. It's supposed to be in the spur of in the moment.
I asked you what I asked you if they did. I said we already on the case. We're not listening.
There you go.
If they put it out there.
Here.
Bro, because see, we ain't listening now, bro. Because I don't know. Again, I don't know. I'm just here because my face is on the thumbnail. I don't represent this bullshit. So again, I just want to ask the question. Yes, a fact. Just take me the fuck off. I don't want to be here for no goddamn presidential shit. Anyway,
Yes, you do.
I want to just ask the question: if they came out with some questions and they gave it to them, what would be the problem with that?
The problem would be.
Appreciate you.
The problem would be that to anyone else who's watching this, screw the mediators, because we don't really care too much about them unless they're the type that really hold people accountable. But for the audience, for the people who's looking at them, because it's not even a town hall type style shit, would not believe anything that's flying out of anyone's mouth and would hurt both their credibilities.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It would be literally be a scripted show.
Would give them a reason to give good answers and precise answers, wouldn't it?
They don't want good answers. They want honest answers.
Okay, we'll be able to get honest answers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I believe if they come out, if we asked everybody on this panel a question, I'm pretty sure all of us is not going to answer it the same. So I'm asking, if they did give out a question like that and have it televised for somebody to answer, don't you think giving them time to make sure they give the right and correct answer will be good for them and whatever they're trying to present and get people to pull towards? Just asking.
OG, look at it this way. If you and I were standing on a debate stage, right? And I'm going to put up two scenarios. So if you and I were given questions that we were already known ahead of time and quite frankly got leaked out, so everybody knows what the hell the goddamn questions are. When the questions get asked, does it really convey that we have any real thoughts, that they can read our body language? Because that's also a part of it in watching these debates. Or we would just be able to rip through it as if we were already reading through a script in our head. Versus if it's random questions that even we don't know about, they can see our response, see our body language, see how our current thought process is in real time. Which one seems more authentic? Which one seems more believable to the American public?
To answer your question, it'd be the second one, where somebody just answering a question that just they don't know nothing about. But
correct.
Again,
and that's the point of having the moderator.
I understand that. I was just asking if you can have enough people come together from one side and another side who's going against each other to come up with a precise answer that's going to be the correct answer, and you give them some time to do it. Basically, you telling me I don't want to hear all the fluff. If the crowd is not there, Donald Trump ain't going to have people to placate to and all this bullshit. I just cut all that stuff out of there. I just went straight to, if they can give an answer that everybody in the United States can go with, these will be the answers. You give them time to do that instead of just giving them something on the fly. So you can either make this nigga look stupid because he incompetent, because he on some fucking drugs, is what I just got through hearing. And then I just heard about this other nigga just because he ain't got the crowd behind him. I'm trying to take all that other stuff up out of it and get straight to the point so we can see who is the best for the country. But again, go ahead.
This all stems from the Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton debate.
Correct.
Where one person in the debate leaked questions to one side.
Yeah, but he doesn't care about all that. He just wants to know what.
No shit about. I'm just
giving him the background because nobody's giving questions to both sides. I'm just giving the background.
OG, here's the other thing.
I started off with if they gave questions to both.
Tell him how you feel, son. Tell him how you feel, son.
Go, bro.
Tell him how you feel, son. He ain't playing with y'all today. He is not playing with y'all today.
He ain't fucking up my high, bro. I'm just trying to sit here and learn about some shit.
I'm high.
The fuck ain't playing with y'all today.
If it's scripted, because they already know their point, there's always going to be something that the American people are not going to be interested in knowing, especially if they already know what the question is, because they already going to want to know what the real things that they want to ask, not what's already given to them that's fluff.
Fuck that. OG, you right, sir. Tell these niggas how you feel. I'm tired of you holding stuff in. No, I'm tired of OG holding stuff in. He need to cuss y'all out like I do. Fuck all y'all on this panel.
I'm gonna have to cuss them out. I got too much. Bro, these my boys. I just don't like when niggas don't be listening, though.
They cut you off. They cut you off. They try to act like you crazy up here. No, sir. You do what you got to do.
I'm slow and I'm crazy, sir. I'm not that smart.
I started.
I'm the dumbest person up here.
I went along with it. I answered your question.
John the Baptist still ain't answered about his fuzzy slippers. We want to know.
You want to know about the fuzzy slippers? You want to know about the fuzzy slippers? Yeah.
In the pot, John the Baptist. You cook them with some gravy and biscuits.
Why is LA? Why you always worried about somebody?
John, you can't find your voice now.
That's a fact. Don't try to come at me when Lawrence asked you something earlier. You was acting like a little bitch.
LA, why you more interested in Lawrence's question? Why is always something when it's something that's kind of wishy-washy that you?
Sir, because he paid his money.
He did
pay his money.
He did pay his money.
Yeah, but you worried about the wrong thing.
He paid his. I'm not worried about nothing.
Why you worried? Why you keep bringing that up?
Oh,
John the Baptist. When
you
pay your money,
as long as in your dream,
John the Baptist. John the Baptist. No, sir. No, sir. But John the Baptist.
Okay, then just let it go.
When you pay your money,
just
no,
let
don't.
it
I
go.
ain't letting
Just
shit
let it
go.
go. Just let it go.
I'm not letting shit go, sir. Sir, that man paid his money. He wanted to know.
If you want to hold that man penis, hold the man penis. Then
Ooh, look at you. Look at you.
Okay, all right.
Emotions make you cry sometimes.
Emotion, baby. It'll make you cry.
Got him. W. Got him.
You ain't got me. No, you ain't got me.
Oh,
you
God,
got
not that again.
You got Lawrence.
Yeah, he got
W.
I swear, I look back at that stream. That whole stream was just nothing but W.
I got my W. John the Baptist thought he had one on me the other day. W.
Yes, it don't take much to get W's over here, baby.
Yeah, that's a fact. John the Baptist, you lost, sir.
Just
lost.
tell a lie. Just tell a lie and say W, right? Just tell a lie and say W behind
you. No, straight over here.
No, sir. It ain't no lie. The man paid his money. He asked you a question.
He asked you a fucking question, man. Answer it, son.
Man.
God damn, you ain't got to be a bitch all your life. Just pause.
And then you want to come at my neck.
Oh,
because you scared to say something to damn Lawrence, cousin Lawrence. That's all.
I mean, if you scared, say you scared, nigga.
Is my thumbnail on the background?
You ain't never sent me a goddamn picture. I don't want to hear shit you gotta say, John.
So I'm not a representative for the show. I'm just a visitor.
Okay, well, visit your ass. Don't think you'll get on the thumbnail then. What you asking questions? You just a visitor.
I don't have to answer Lauren's question.
Yeah, you do. What the fuck you mean you ain't got? Because Lawrence is
paid. I don't get paid or benefit from this.
Oh my god, that's why this is why I said that.
Yo, that's funny. He said he don't get paid to be up in this bitch, but literally someone paid to give him a question.
That question didn't go. That money didn't go in my pocket, wrestler.
But guess what? Lawrence ain't shit to me. He said something to you.
I'll pay you the $5, John the Baptist. If I send you the $5, will you answer the question?
No, did you send me my $5? You didn't even send me my $5, dog.
No, this ain't about you. This ain't about you.
You mean it's not about me?
It's not about you right now. Stop making everything about you.
All right, my bad. I won't do that no more.
Yeah, I'm trying to make
send me the $5.
Answer the question first, and I'll send you the $5.
Don't send me the $5.
I don't trust you.
Oh man, we don't trust you, dog.
Yeah, I don't trust you.
Why would I trust you then? If you don't trust me, why should I trust you?
Because I send money. I pay. We have all paid on this panel.
You never paid me. You never paid me one red dime. What are we doing?
Because I never lost to you, sir. I never lost a bet to you.
I've sent way more money than you ever sent to me.
That's a fact. That's undeniable.
So if anybody don't trust anybody, I shouldn't trust you.
No, but you have sent me one red dime. Did you pay up on all your bets?
That's a fact.
I do.
He does. He paid me mine too. When he lost. He came quick too. It was like right then. He do pay bets. I'll give him that. He do pay his bets.
All right. So if I send you the $5, you're gonna answer the question.
Just send me the $5.
No. That's see. Now you being like Tom.
Yeah, you really thought that was gonna work. Yeah, I did. You know, you should know that one was not gonna work.
Give me the $5.
What's wrong with you?
Not gonna work.
That's the OG shit right there. Lost his goddamn mind.
It was a good try. I will commend you on the try. You got an A for damn effort. You did. You did.
We'll know what I do after you send me the $5. We'll know what I do.
Hell no. Hell no.
Where the fuck they do that at?
That's called trust, right?
No, hell no.
Either you either trust me or you not to trust me. One or two gonna happen. What my track history say?
You don't like to answer questions.
What my track history say?
You don't like to answer questions. That's what it is. No. You don't like to answer questions ever, sir. No matter what the debate is or what topic it is, you don't like to answer questions. So
that would be wrong. That would be wrong. I answer a lot of questions.
No, you don't.
Sent you back your $5.
No, I answer a lot of questions.
That's what I'm talking about. Give me that money back. Yeah.
Yeah, I answer a lot of questions.
Okay, name two.
I just don't answer certain questions. I'm not name two right now. What are we doing here? This ain't remember that question.
All right. I mean, if that's what you say, you know.
Yeah. I just answer certain questions.
Okay. All right.
I just answer Lawrence questions. That's what we're talking about.
Why don't you answer Lawrence questions, sir?
Yeah, because I don't have to.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, let's get back to these bars over here. I want you people
streaming this.
Huh?
Everybody streaming this debate on YouTube.
Absolutely. That's why
of course.
My people keep saying they're gonna block this and they're gonna block that. I don't know.
You got my Cash App, LA?
Oh,
it's on. It's on right now.
Is it on?
You got my Cash App, LA?
Oh no, they showing the one from 2020. My bad.
Yeah. I know it don't start until 9, but
9 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah, I got your Cash App. Don't worry about it.
All right, so
I'm worried about it.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna drop this one for you, Jigaboos, up here. I just want y'all to look at y'all president right here, the reigning champ, the reigning and defending champ of the motherfucking United States of motherfucking America.
Strong
president's here.
In every respect, the son of the South. And as it was said of Robert E. Lee, Strom is an opponent without hate, a friend without treachery, a statesman without pretense, a soldier without cruelty, and a neighbor without hypocrisy.
Absolutely.
That's been the story of my relationship with Strom. We're occasionally referred to as the odd couple. Little did anyone think, including me, that when I had an opportunity to be a ranking member with Strom, that I would grow to have such genuine and deep affection for him. Strom Thurmond is in every respect the son of the South. And as a
Do y'all know who Strom Thurmond is?
No, not me.
Wow. Okay. Mayo, since will you inform these good black people who Strom Thurmond is?
He was in the Klan, sir.
Well, there you go.
Lawrence with the $5. OG, you are so cool. If being cool is a crime, you would be locked up for life. I'm sure John, my fluffy. I'm sure John, my fluffy bunny brother from another mother, would agree.
Why don't you read it without making those goddamn?
I can't. You do it, sir. I can't read it.
OG, you are so cool. If being cool was a crime, you would be locked up for life. I am sure John, my fluffy bunny brother from another mother, goddamn, would agree. Jesus Christ, we put them words together like crack, right? God damn. All right.
Now ask OG to respond.
He didn't ask OG a question.
It wasn't a question.
I know, but still ask him to respond though.
OG, would you like to respond that you're so cool if you whatever the shit else said? I already forgot. I'm looking up shit.
Hey, I'm just here so I don't get fined out.
That's a What is up with the beef today?
He trying out something new.
No, he answered the question the way old boy used to do it after the interview. I was on running back for Seattle.
Kingdom Minus Zero with a $20 cash app said W Baptist Church for the porch from Mr. and Mrs. Thank you again for sending the cash app over there, Kingdom Minded. And Big Mo 3. Well, not Mo 3. Ain't gonna do that because Mo 3 dead. We're gonna call you Big Mo because that's what you call yourself. So we're gonna continue calling you. Anyway, I got another thing from the reigning champ. Do y'all want to see it? I got things from the reigning champ that people said people give bad. Do you think eulogizing a Klans member, no matter what part of his life he was a Klans member, is a good thing or a bad thing? OG.
Depends on what side you're on.
Okay, that's true. OG, you got anything?
I'm just here so I won't get fined, sir.
Oh my gosh. That's why I don't.
He said get fined.
Yeah.
My face is on the thumbnail. Clearly, I can see I'm down here by it, so I'm just here so I won't get fined, sir.
Oh, okay. All right. I won't stress you then. What's your name? What your name is? John the Baptist. What do you think, sir?
Ask the question again.
Do you think eulogizing a Klans member, no matter what time of what part of time of his life he was a Klans member, do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing? Should you do it?
I think you should do it. They have to be eulogized. If they, I mean,
okay.
I mean, what you say about them, you can. Pick
well,
the
he
words
praised
you don't say
him.
about him.
He praised him during his eulogy speech.
Appreciate you, King of Mine.
Would I praise him? No, I wouldn't praise him.
Do you think that would be racist of any sort to do such things?
I don't know what he said. It depends on what he said. If so, like, okay, if you can eulogize someone, you can tell the truth about their life. If he told the truth about their life, the things they participated in, the things they did.
I said he praised him.
I don't think you praise a Klansman for doing Klansman act. No, I don't think you can do that.
When you don't speak about it and you know that was a part of his life, do you think that would be? Would you consider that whitewashing?
Yeah, I would consider that. I would consider not telling the truth.
Okay.
Is being a Klansman necessarily a bad thing?
Wait. Is giving the eulogy only about giving the truth?
Absolutely.
Or glorifying them? Or glorifying them?
Well, he glorified them. So in my eyes, he glorified.
Giving the eulogy is talking about the person's life.
Was he a good friend?
You're saying all the truthful things in their life.
You don't have to say all. You don't have to say all. You're right. You don't have to say all the truthful things in their life, but you should speak to the essence of their life. So if this person was a bad person of character, you're not going to sit there and tell a lie that he was that was a great person.
People generally speak on the essence of perspective on being nice.
They do. You're right. Whereas people do, that's what they do. But I don't think that's the accurate way you should do it.
But what if a black? Go ahead, John Baptist.
If a person lived a spotted life, you should talk about their spotted life.
Okay. See, that's why I got you up here, John the Baptist. Because at least you tell the fucking truth, man.
Yeah, what if a black person went to a Black Panther's funeral? Would it be the same smoke?
You should tell the truth about their life.
Absolutely.
I don't think it would be the same smoke. I don't think people would care as much.
Well, no one cares now. So what do you mean that they won't care? They don't care now. Half y'all didn't even know who Strom Thurmond was.
No, sir.
I knew who he was vaguely. I knew who he was vaguely.
Do you know who Robert Byrd is?
I've heard the name, but I don't know specifically who he is. No.
Okay, these are all Congress people in United States Congress, federal, not local, that were clearly part of the Klan, and that Joe Biden eulogized and spoke heavenly, like they didn't do anything absolutely wrong in the way they pursued their life. Also, Hillary Clinton did too.
But we're not shocked that people say nice things about people who die, even though we know they were terrible people. We see people do it in church all the time. Like this person probably came to church one time in their life and was probably the biggest devil. And well, if they went to church every Sunday, you know some stuff about them. But they always talk about the good things and not the.
I hear you, John. Which is why I also bring up the whole eulogy thing, because there are people who don't even know about that person, but will say good things about them.
Yeah, that's like y'all give good pastor. Y'all giving good passes to Joe Biden, like he's doing something great. Look at y'all. Let me show you y'all daddy, y'all zaddy. Yeah. Zaddy, baby. Anyway.
And I don't want to. Maybe choose my words. I was just thinking.
Choosing words, mofo.
Anyway, I just look. I mean,
yeah.
Putin's kleptocracy. Yeah. was in January after being elected.
This y'all guy right there.
Late January, early February.
This is y'all's guy.
He said, "It's not we lead, not just." Well, I won't go into it. Here's what drives the driver in the states that are affected. Here's what you can do, the drivers.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
For two reasons.
Two of them.
One, to.
He lost it on two.
It's an impact that decades are making. Because inaction.
I told you, don't get that nigga no numbers, dog. Don't get that nigga no numbers.
The Department of from Charlotte. One another line going from in Florida down to Tampa. The best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to. Anyway, the idea that
should we
and
put
Joan Shingang
an age limit on how would you be president?
Absolutely.
100.
But there's there to be beginning this effort and I want you to know that
you're my angel.
Thank you as well for the nature, not
Does this make America look strong?
America is a nation that can be defined in a single
at this point in time, I think it's got to be considered elderly abuse. Look at this. This chick don't even know what a woman is. To the right, yeah, to the right of that mofo.
To the right and the left.
I was going to put him. Solid meeting with the Los Angeles and what am I doing here?
We don't know. We don't know.
Excuse me. They also increase corporate growth.
You got it.
They make a very good point. Here's the deal.
That's Biden, baby.
$159 billion left. My plan is to make concrete. I know President. Excuse me.
Yeah, that was Afghanistan. After Afghanistan happened. After Afghanistan.
Leading tech companies like Anthropic. I'm going to mispronounce.
You're going to mispronounce everything.
I can even try. Beer brewed here.
For a fact, he's not going to win the election.
Me, he won this. What the fuck you talking about?
He's not going to win
the same way before the election. What are you talking about?
He's not going to win this election.
These constant. Because that's why we can't let. We cannot let this election be one where the same man who was president 40 years ago.
Put your paycheck on it.
Never forget.
I said I'm willing to bet your paycheck on it.
No, I'm willing to bet yours.
Anyway, I
don't bet mine, bet yours.
Florida Small Business Winner Award winner, Business Week winner. Maybe as the Evolver Institution. About former Prime Minister.
Bro.
Anyway, overruled that to.
This is sickening, bro.
The 32nd freestanding have 30 free. The small minorities here.
Yeah. That's y'all's guy. That's defending and reigning champion president of the motherfucking United States of America, and y'all put him there. Matter of fact, Supernova put him there. I can't believe it. I can't.
If he wins, I don't think he's going to make it to the end of his next election? And do
you
think they want his vice president? I mean, his next, he won't be able to finish out his next term.
Mm-hmm.
You think they want the vice president to be president?
Well, there's a lot of people on TikTok that think this man is the greatest man on earth.
Yeah.
I'm not bullshitting you either. I'm not bullshitting you either. And I'm on TikTok now. Thank you for the one person that's in here. It was up to 12 and 14 and 15, then it went down to 1. But it's okay. They don't want to see the truth about their president. She said, who? Where? No, but yeah, what do y'all think about? Because who said it was elder abuse? I think it was Mayo who said it. Mayo, did you say it was elder abuse?
I will no longer answer questions unless I'm paid, sir. Thank you.
Oh shit! Dude, shit! I don't answer questions unless I'm paid to. Then is that what we're doing here? Oh damn it! When did this nigga get up here? What up? Blacks who defy logic. Sir, are you there?
What's going on, man?
How you doing, sir? I'm gonna advise you. Everyone else up here don't have their teeth out except for you.
Hey, I'm the only one who got teeth to show.
Shit, me.
Shit, obviously. Show them pearly whites, damn
it. How's baseball going, good sir?
Oh, pretty good, man. I'm over here fielding a 13U team now and a 10U team, so that absorbs a whole lot of my time in the afternoons. So I'm always going, but today I didn't have any practices. But my 13U team coach has a tryout, so my other owner is going to be there, and I don't have to be.
Yo, Tom.
Right. Yes, sir.
Well, I never seen somebody practice so hard to lose. Like this, it's amazing.
Hey, we still over there, LA. Doggone it.
I'm still answering the question.
Nigga, and
we all invested into this team, and we not seeing our money's worth. We all invested. Tom, did we not invest?
Oh man.
Yeah.
We all invested into this team. So
we said we invested in this thing, and we ain't seen our money's worth.
Losing coach. LA, are you saying that's the hardest working losing coach?
I ain't saying nothing. Just saying his team.
He's actually been pretty good this year. They've been pretty good. I've been following them.
You know, he over here hating, but that's all right. No, but yeah, this year went a lot differently than the previous years. So hopefully we can build on that momentum.
Black, I ride you, give you a hard time, but you know what?
Oh,
God almighty, I think y'all gonna take that.
That was crazy. That was crazy. That was crazy.
You can't say nothing no more.
That was crazy.
Y'all just make everything. Y'all make everything suspect.
That was crazy. God damn.
Oh my.
No diddy.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
All right, you go ahead.
But thanks for coaching the kids. I'll try to get a better compliment. Y'all made this crazy.
He knew
crazy. That came out of your mouth, not us.
He knew that was crazy when he said it. God damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as I said that, I knew we're gonna make it.
He said as soon as he said it, he knew what he did.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All right, so
Oh man, I saw that they were really going hard about copyright issues concerning this debate. That's crazy, man. They shot themselves in the foot.
They could make some money out of there, but they choose to lose. It's all right. That's what's wrong with CNN. They choose to lose.
That's crazy, man. They really shot themselves in the foot. if they hope to sway people their way, they really ended any hope of that now.
Yeah.
Especially having,
what do you think is going? What do you
trying
think?
to stir up that copyright issue.
What do you think about?
Go ahead.
Your boy Biden going into this election. Do you think he's gonna give a good showing? Do you think they're gonna extra juice him up?
Well, I think that they're going to try and juice him up, but that's not working as much as it used to. It did for a while, especially during the State of the Union address. It helped him out
He didn't do that
tremendously.
at all.
Now they might put in their body double. Who knows? But
Well said that. I think Keelan Mine has a body double too. So I don't know.
I mean, they all have body doubles, man, but I don't know if they're utilizing them like that. But you know, they have stand-ins, but I don't know if it's that sophisticated. Some say it is. I don't know, man. I don't want to deal in that realm, but I will say that they're going to find some way to bamboozle us. What do you think about that report that came out with the leaked CNN questions? Do you think that that was real?
Well, they have now changed it to satire because it didn't say satire at the top before. At least I don't think so.
No, it didn't. It didn't at all. Someone had vetted. Was it the Washington Post or one of them?
Washington Beacon.
What was it? Yeah, Washington Beacon had verified it. So I don't think they're going to put their name on the line for satire.
Well, they did. They changed it to satire. It's now on top of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
They sure.
Well, they got to him.
Well, you know, it ain't hard to get to them when you were actually pulling the strings for everything, sir.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're a part of it. They're a part of that establishment. But I'm just saying it's insanity the way free speech has gotten away from us. And we have all these things, all these blatant lies, all these blatant affronts to morality and law, and people still will shill for Trump. I mean, you said it right, man. The TikTokers are in love with that bastard, and I have no idea why. These unhinged cretins are in love with that bastard.
Oh,
that's crazy.
I know.
Why though? Can you tell me why? Can anybody up here speculate why? Because he's not doing anything particularly for any of these people.
No, he's not.
There's only so much TDS you can absorb. You know what I mean? Like there's only people at the end of the day, people have eyes and ears, man. And Lord have mercy, man. Are they really ignoring their eyes and ears?
Absolutely.
That readily? My God, dude.
Absolutely. Why would they think of something different?
Because you would think that these people could at least see that this motherfucker is retarded. I mean, the guy is retarded. And I'm not even talking about liking Trump. That's not even my point. My point is that dude literally, he's literally fucking geriatric, man. The guy is outside of his mind, and anybody can see it. And they're like, yeah, that's the guy I'm rocking with, man.
They don't care. Do you expect them to really care? I mean,
no, I don't, man. I know they give nothing but lip service, but still, man.
The American people are what? Say it with me.
What?
Stupid.
Well, yeah, that's true.
There's nothing different. I don't know why y'all think anything different than that. Mofos is retarded. I mean, it's not smart. Oh man, now Google ain't working. What is going on? There ain't no play on here, but they won't even let Google work for me today.
Yeah, these people out here, but still, God, dog. You'd think somebody would say, you know what? We've had enough of being retarded just for now. Let's
Rumble just
let's pay attention, man.
Rumble just
are you serious?
Yeah. It's not loading.
There you go.
Yeah, they lost a money making opportunity. I tell you that right there.
They did, man. But they don't care about making money. They got BlackRock to subsidize them. And Vanguard.
That's true. Oh, at least YouTube is still working. At least YouTube is still working. It's working for me. Let me see. Let's go here. So, what was your question, LA? Why don't you ask me a question that you have? Remember?
What, earlier?
Yeah.
Who do you think this non-audience helps more, Trump or Uncle Trump or Biden?
It helps Biden.
And we have a difference around.
That was the goal.
Okay.
Fewer real eyes, only studio eyes on him, and then you know that they could live edit anything now, since it's all digital. So it doesn't matter. It's not analog. It's not a signal over the airways the way it used to be. Closed circuit signals. It's all freaking digital, so they can do whatever they want. Create a lag and then edit it 30 seconds before we see it, etc.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's true. They did say they're gonna have a 2-minute lag. Can you a 2
Oh shit, man. Now, how the fuck did I know that? And I didn't even know.
Yeah, they said they're gonna have a 2-minute lag. I don't know how true it's gonna be, but at least that's what they say. The normal lag is 7 seconds.
Bro, I guarantee you that this shit has been already happening, and they're just now starting it. It's for us.
Long ass. Do you know how long 2 minutes is? That's a long ass lag, bro.
Yeah, it's a very long lag. Yeah.
They want enough time to get Biden off the stage when he have a heart attack.
No, absolutely. I saw that trailer you put up too. That was hilarious. Did you make that trailer? Did you make that trailer?
Hell no, I stole it. Oh shit.
He said, hell no, I stole it. Like any self-respecting nigga. Got it.
Oh, he did admit he's part. He just admitted he was LA. He just admitted it.
We already had this discussion yesterday. So.
Oh man, my TikTok got flagged already for hate speech. Yeah.
How?
God, yeah, it did.
Which is yours, guys?
I didn't. Y'all the ones who making all the N words, dropping the N bombs on at me. No one cares. You know what? It's just going to end if it keeps continuing. But we're not saying we're talking. You're good. If anything, I can mute myself. There you go. I mute myself. Oh, it still hears y'all. That's cool. Go ahead.
So you just can't talk stuff about Uncle Joe Biden. Okay.
Well, I ain't do anything. I ain't seen nothing wrong about Joe Biden. Y'all did. These are all. You can say that. That's not bad to say.
Boy, you can show all the Kia boys stealing all the cars you want.
Yeah.
You sure could. You can't you? You can. But anytime they talk about that old fuck, everything goes to shit.
Okay. Well, that's not gonna work on there. All right. I mean, I truly don't care that much. You know what I'm saying? It's not. It is what it is.
I mean, he just take over. What the hell was that?
That was my access. Your access to live multi-guest will be restored June 30th, 2024.
What?
Are you serious?
Yeah, that was quick, right?
They got you up out of there already?
Yes, sir. You can't,
on Facebook?
No, not on Facebook. On TikTok.
We told you not to stream there, sir. You just did what you wanted to do.
Absolutely.
Oh, TikTok
on. Oh, I forgot. I forgot you were on TikTok or TikTok.
Oh boy. If you ain't talking about loving transgenders, you ain't gonna be on there, sir.
That's a fact.
That was crazy.
Yeah. Hey, we got a whole hour out of it. Well, almost an hour out of it. We're good. All right, let's go see if it don't matter. That was extra anyway. let's go.
You know why you got kicked off? Because you're not progressive enough.
That's a fact. That's a fact. But it's okay though. It's okay. I'm not worried. I'm not crying over spilled milk with TikTok. I don't stream there often anyway, so it is what it is. So what it said? Kingdom Minded with the $2 super chat said, ask John the Baptist or blacks to quote Romans 1 verse 21 through 22. Yeah, Mayo, I know, Mayo. They got me up out of there. They suspended me for 3 days. They gave me a 3-day suspension because of blacks. See, we was doing good till Blacks Who Defy came up here and started talking trash.
It's my fault because I talked about that old fuck.
Absolutely. You was talking about Daddy Trump.
My little sister trying to help me out. Y'all ain't say nothing about the questions that she told me to say.
I literally just read it. I literally just read it.
But you read right over it. You didn't even ask me about it.
I literally read it. I literally just read it. I said, ask John the Baptist or blacks to quote Romans 1 verse 22 through 21 through 22. I literally just said that, sir.
No, he got
and when you read it, you kept on going.
Absolutely, but you didn't quote it, so you didn't say nothing either.
Man, yeah, cause you kept on going. I can't wait for you to come back and ask me like you would do if it was.
Well, go ahead, answer the goddamn question and quit talking. Now you're just being long-winded for no reason.
I can't do it because I'm driving.
Oh, nah, you can't do it off memory.
No, I can't do it off of memory. I have to read it. I know what it's referring to though. I just can't quote it verbatim.
All right. Well, you know what? Don't worry about it because here we go. Debate's on. Well, you can do it. They ain't showed shit yet. They on their 2-minute lag.
Hey, Tom. The TikTok feed died.
I know, they literally killed me. So I don't know.
Okay. We want to share the rules of the debate with the audience at home. Former President Trump will be on the left side of the screen. President Biden will be appearing on the right. A coin toss.
There we go. We in here like swimwear.
Each candidate will have 2 minutes to answer a question and 1 minute each for responses and rebuttals. An additional minute for follow-up, clarification,
That's stupid.
or response.
Those are stupid rules.
At the moderator's discretion.
When it's time.
Oh my God, the discretion.
Playing it on MSNBC right now.
On, and his opponent's microphone will be turned off. Should a candidate interrupt,
how CNN gonna hit me? They playing it on CNN. I mean MSNBC.
For viewers at home. At the end of the debate, each candidate will get 2 minutes for closing statements. There is no studio audience tonight. Pre-written notes, prompts, or contact with campaign staff are not permitted during the debate.
Tell look up Uncle Tom. I'm literally
That's a lie. That's a lie.
Candidates and their campaigns agreed to accept these rules.
That's a damn lie.
The 46th president of the United States, Joe Biden.
You think they had lollipops on the floor to show him where he needed to go?
Look at this nigga.
United States, Donald Trump.
The reigning and defending champ, Joe Biden. That's what they should have said.
Knock him out, Joe.
For being here, let's begin the debate, and let's start with the issue that voters consistently say is their top concern, the economy.
Is he talking?
Inflation has slowed, but prices remain high. Since you took office, the price of essentials has increased. For example, a basket of groceries that cost $100 then now costs more than $120. And typical home prices jumped more than 30%.
That's bullshit.
What do you say to voters who feel they are worse off under your presidency than they were under President Trump?
We got to take a look at what I was left when I became president and what Mr. Trump left me.
Oh, damn.
We had an economy that was in free fall. The pandemic was so badly handled. Many people were dying. All he said was, it's not that serious. Just inject a little bleach into your arm. You'll be all right. The economy collapsed. There were no jobs. Unemployment rate rose to 15%. It was terrible. And so what we had to do is try to put things back together again. And that's exactly what we began to do. We created 15,000 new jobs. And we brought out another position where we have 800.
They didn't drug him well.
I was just thinking that.
There's more to be done. Working class people are still in trouble. I come from Scranton, Pennsylvania. I come from households where the kitchen table, if the things weren't able to be met during the month, it was a problem. Price of eggs, the price of gas, the price of housing, the price of a whole range of things. That's why I'm working so hard to make sure I deal with those problems. And we're going to make sure that we reduce the price of housing. We're going to make sure we build 2 million new units. We're going to make sure we cap rents so corporate greed can't take over. The combination, what I was left with in corporate greed is the reason why we're in this problem right now. In addition to that, we're in a situation where if you take a look at all that was done in his administration, he didn't do much at all. By the time he left, things were in chaos.
That looks like a
Things were in chaos. And so we put things back together. We created, I said, those jobs. We make sure we had a situation where we brought down the price of prescription drugs, which is a major issue for many people.
That's
to $15.
my drugs ain't cheaper.
For, a insulin shot is $400. No senior has to pay more than $200.
My drugs are in shortage.
For any drug, all the drugs they can include beginning next year. In a situation is we're going to make that everybody, to all Americans. So we're working to bring down the price around the kitchen table, and that's what we're going to get done.
Let's go.
Thank you, President Trump.
We have the greatest economy in the history of our country. We have never done so well. Everybody was amazed by it. Other countries.
Did they mute him? What the fuck?
Oh, they
The
playing
stream's
dirty.
muted. It's on mute. It's on mute. It's on mute. The stream's on mute.
We finished, so we did a great job. A lot of credit for the economy.
No, it was dragging on your mouse.
Military and no wars and so many other things. Everything was rocking good. But the thing we never got the credit for, and we should have, is getting us out of that COVID mess. He created mandates that was a disaster for our country. But other than that, we had given them back a country where the stock market actually was higher than pre-COVID, and nobody thought that was even possible. The only jobs he created are for illegal immigrants and bounce back jobs, the bounce back from the COVID. He has not done a good job. He's done a poor job, and inflation's killing our country. It is absolutely killing us.
Thank you. President Biden?
Well, look, the greatest economy in the world. He's the only one who thinks that, I think. I don't know anybody else who thinks he had the greatest economy in the world. And, the fact of the matter is that we found ourselves in a situation where his economy, he rewarded the wealthy. He had the largest tax cut in American history, $2 trillion. He raised a deficit larger than any president has in any one term.
Can't even get on Rumble.
He's the only president other than Herbert Hoover who's lost more jobs than he had when he began, since Herbert Hoover. The idea that he did something that was significant in the military, when he was president, they were still killing people in Afghanistan. He didn't do anything about that. When he was president, we were still finding ourselves in a position where you had a notion that we were this safe country. The truth is, I'm the only president this century that doesn't have this decade, that doesn't have any troops dying anywhere in the world like he did.
President Trump, I want to follow up if I can.
Am I allowed to respond to him?
Well, I'm going to ask you a follow-up. You can do whatever you want with the minute that we give you. I want to follow up. You want to impose a 10% tariff on all goods coming into the U.S. How will you ensure that that doesn't drive prices even higher?
It's not going to drive them higher. It's just going to cause countries like China and many others, in all fairness to China. It's going to just force them to pay us a lot of money, reduce our deficit tremendously, and give us a lot of power for other things. But he made a statement. The only thing he was right about is I gave you the largest tax cut in history. I also gave you the largest regulation cut in history. That's why we had all the jobs. And the jobs went down, and then they bounced back, and he's taking credit for bounce back jobs. You can't do that. He also said he inherited 9% inflation. No, he inherited almost no inflation, and it stayed that way for 14 months. And then it blew up under his leadership because they spent money like a bunch of people that didn't know what they were doing. And they don't know what they were doing. It was probably the worst administration in history. There's never been. And as far as Afghanistan is concerned, I was getting out of Afghanistan, but we were getting out with dignity, with strength, with power. He got out. It was the most embarrassing day in the history of our country's life.
President Trump, over the last 8 years, under both of your administrations, the national debt soared to record highs. And according to a new nonpartisan analysis, President Trump, your administration approved $8.4 trillion in new debt. Well, so far, President Biden, you've approved $4.3 trillion in new debt. So, former President Trump, many of the tax cuts that you signed into law are set to expire next year. You want to extend them and go even further, you say. With the U.S. facing trillion-dollar deficits and record debt, why should top earners and corporations pay even less in taxes than they do now?
Because the tax cuts spurred the greatest economy that we've ever seen just prior to COVID. And even after COVID, it was so strong that we were able to get through COVID much better than just about any other country. But we spurred, that tax spurred. Now, when we cut the taxes, as an example, the corporate tax was cut down to 21% from 39%, plus beyond that. We took in more revenue with much less tax, and companies were bringing back trillions of dollars back into our country. The country was going like never before, and we were ready to start paying down debt. We were ready to start using the liquid gold right under our feet, the oil and gas right under our feet. We were going to have something that nobody else has had. We got hit with COVID. We did a lot to fix it. I gave him an unbelievable situation with all of the therapeutics and all of the things that we came up with. We gave him something great. Remember, more people died under his administration, even though we had largely fixed it. More people died under his administration than our administration, and we were right in the middle of it, something which a lot of people don't like to talk about. But he had far more people dying in his administration. He did the mandate, which is a disaster, mandating it. The vaccine went out. He did a mandate on the vaccine, which is the thing that people most objected to about the vaccine. And he did a very poor job, just a very poor job. And I will tell you, not only poor there, but throughout the entire world, we're no longer respected as a country. They don't respect our leadership. They don't respect the United States anymore. We're like a third world nation between weaponization of his election, trying to go after his political opponent. All of the things he's done, we've become like a third world nation, and it's a shame. The damage he's done to our country, and I'd love to ask him, and will, why he allowed millions of people to come in here from prisons, jails, and mental institutions to come into our country and destroy our country.
President Trump, we will get to immigration later in this block. President Biden, I want to give you an opportunity to respond to this question about the national debt.
He had the largest national debt of any president in a 4-year period, number one. Number two, that $2 trillion tax cut benefited the very wealthy. Now, what I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. I mean, billionaires in America.
Look at the trillionaires.
They're in a situation where they, in fact, pay 8.2% in taxes. If they just paid 24%, 25%, either one of those numbers, they've raised $500
tax rate is 24% on 26% on fucking.
You need to drop in the fucking bucket for 1,000 people to pay.
Yeah, that's a bald-faced lie. And he knows it. It's not enough.
Continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look. If we finally beat Medicare,
they didn't drop him up. Just a plan,
President Trump.
Flipper flam flap.
Right, he did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare because all of these people are coming in. They're putting them on Medicare. They're putting them on Social Security. They're going to destroy Social Security.
Talk about it.
This man is going to single-handedly destroy Social Security. These millions and millions of people coming in, they're trying to put them on Social Security. He will wipe out Social Security. He will wipe out Medicare. So he was right in the way he finished that sentence. And it's a shame. What's happened to our country in the last 4 years is not to be believed. Foreign countries, I'm friends with a lot of people. They cannot believe what happened to the United States of America. We're no longer respected. They don't like us. We give them everything they want, and they think we're stupid. They think we're very stupid people. What we're doing for other countries, and they do nothing for us. What this man has done is absolutely criminal.
Thank you, President Trump. Tana?
This is the first presidential election since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade.
Oh, my God.
This morning, the court ruled on yet another abortion case, temporarily allowing emergency abortions to continue in Idaho, despite that state's restrictive ban. Former President Trump, you take credit for the decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, which returned the issue of abortion to the states.
Correct.
However, the federal government still plays a role in whether or not women have access to abortion pills. They're used in about 2/3 of all abortions. As president, would you block abortion medication?
First of all, the Supreme Court just approved the abortion pill. And I agree with their decision to have done that. And I will not block it. And if you look at this whole question that you're asking, complex, but not really complex. 51 years ago, you had Roe v. Wade, and everybody wanted to get it back to the states. Everybody, without exception. Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives, everybody wanted it back. Religious leaders. And what I did is I put 3 great Supreme Court justices on the court, and they happened to vote in favor of killing Roe v. Wade and moving it back to the states. This is something that everybody wanted. Now, 10 years ago or so, they started talking about how many weeks and how many this, getting into other things. But every legal scholar throughout the world, the most respected, wanted it brought back to the states. I did that. Now the states are working it out. If you look at Ohio, it was a decision that was, an end result that was a little bit more liberal.
Why won't he ban the pill, though?
Kansas, I would say the same thing. Texas is different. Florida
Because
is
he
different.
believes it's a
But
state
they're all
issue.
making their own decisions right now. And right now,
It's not about
the
banning
states
abortion,
control it.
John.
That's the vote of the people. Like Ronald Reagan, I believe in the exceptions. I am a person that believes. And frankly, I think it's important to believe in the exceptions. Some people, you have to follow your heart. Some people don't believe in that. But I believe in the exceptions for rape, incest, and the life of the mother. I think it's very important. Some people don't. Follow your heart. But you have to get elected also. And because that has to do with other things. You got to get elected. The problem they have is they're radical because they will take the life of a child in the 8th month, the 9th month, and even after birth. After birth, if you look at the former governor of Virginia, he was willing to do this. He said, we'll put the baby aside and we'll determine what we do with the baby, meaning we'll kill the baby. What happened is we brought it back to the states, and the country is now coming together on this issue. It's been a great thing.
Thank you. President Biden?
It's been a terrible thing, what you've done. The fact is that the vast majority of constitutional scholars supported Roe when it was decided. Supported Roe. And that's this idea that
He
they're
about to
all
shit on
against it. It's
himself.
just ridiculous. And this is the guy who says the state should be able to have it. We're in a state where in 6 weeks, you don't even know whether you're pregnant or not, but you cannot see a doctor, have him decide on what your circumstances
Really, you can't find
whether you need
a
help.
stick to pee on
The
in 6
idea
weeks?
that states are able to
Boy,
do
that's
this
a
is
lie.
like saying we're going to turn civil rights back to the states, let each state have a different rule. Look, there's so many young women who have been, including
not
a
a
young
civil
woman
rights
who just
issue.
was murdered. And he went to the
said
funeral.
everything that Donald Trump
And
just
the
said. We're
idea
gonna send it
that
back to the states.
she was murdered by an immigrant coming in. They talk about that. But here's the deal: there's a lot of young women who be raped by their in-laws, by their
What the
by
fuck
their
is he
spouses,
talking about?
brothers and
Look at
sisters. By
That was
it's
crazy.
It's just ridiculous, and they can
Look
do
at it.
nothing about it.
He's telling
And
on
they try to
himself.
arrest them when they cross state lines.
Thank you.
Talking about his daughter.
There have been many young women murdered
I'd like to see if
by the
Ashley
same
ever had
people he allows
abortion.
to come across our border. We have a border that's the most dangerous place anywhere in the world, considered the most dangerous place anywhere in the world. And he opened it up, and these killers are coming into our country, and they are raping and killing women. And it's a terrible thing. As far as the abortion is concerned, it is now back
Get him overhead.
to voting. In many cases, it's frankly a very liberal decision. In many cases, it's the opposite. But they're voting, and it's bringing it back to the vote of the people, which is what everybody wanted, including the founders, if they knew about this issue, which frankly they didn't. But they would have. Everybody wanted brought back. Ronald Reagan wanted it brought back. He wasn't able to get it. Everybody wanted it brought back, and many presidents had tried to get it back. I was the one to do it. And again, this gives it the vote of the people, and that's where they wanted it. Every legal scholar wanted it that way.
Staying on the topic of abortion, President Biden, 7 states, I'll let you do that. This is the same topic. 7 states have no legal restrictions on how far into a pregnancy a woman can obtain an abortion. Do you support any legal limits on how late a woman should be able to terminate a pregnancy?
I supported Roe v. Wade, which had 3 trimesters. The first time is between the woman and the doctor. Second time is between the doctor and an extreme situation. The third time is between the doctor, between the woman
What
and
is
the
he
state.
talking about?
The idea that the politicians, that the founders wanted the politicians to be the ones making decisions about women's health is ridiculous. That's the last. No politician should be making that decision. A doctor should
What
be
about
making
the
those
husband?
decisions. That's how it should be run. That's what you're going to do. And if I'm elected, I'm going to restore Roe v. Wade.
He did not answer that question.
He can take the life of the baby in the 9th month and even after birth, because some states, Democrat run, take it after birth. Again, the former governor of Virginia, put the baby down, then we decide what to do with it. So he's willing to, as we say, rip the baby out of the womb in the 9th month and kill the baby. Nobody wants that to happen, Democrat or Republican. Nobody wants it to happen.
You're lying. That is simply not true. The Roe v. Wade does not provide for that. That's not the circumstance. Only if a woman's life is in danger, she's going to die. That's the only circumstance in which that can happen.
To shit on
That's a lie.
Not
That's
for
a lie.
late-term abortion, period.
He doesn't
Period,
know what Roe
period.
v. Wade is
The
anymore.
Roe v. Wade, you have late-term abortion. You can do whatever you want, depending on the state. You can do whatever you want. We don't think that's a good thing. We think it's a radical thing. We think the Democrats are the radicals, not the Republicans.
For 51 years, that was the law. 51 years, constitutional scholarship said it was the right way to go. 51 years, and it was taken away because this guy put very conservative members on the Supreme Court. He takes credit for taking it away. What's he going to do? What's he going to do? In fact, if the MAGA Republicans, he gets elected, and the MAGA Republicans control the Congress, and they pass a universal ban on abortion, period, across the board at 6 weeks or 7 or 8 or 10 weeks, something very, very conservative. Is he going to sign that bill? I'll veto it. He'll sign it.
Thank you.
Let's turn now to the issue of immigration and border security. President Biden, a record number of migrants have illegally crossed the southern border on your watch. Overwhelming border states and overburdening cities such as New York and Chicago, and in some cases causing real safety and security concerns. Given that, why should voters trust you to solve this crisis?
Because we worked very hard to get a bipartisan agreement that not only changed all of that, made sure that we are in a situation where you had no circumstance where they could come across the border with the number of border police there are now. We significantly increased the number of asylum officers, significantly. By the way, the Border Patrol endorsed my position. In addition to that, we found ourselves in a situation where when he was president, he was separating babies from their mothers, putting them in cages, making sure the families were separated. That's not the right way to go. What I've done since I've changed the law, I've changed it in a way that now you're in a situation where
let's leave
people coming across the border legally. It's better than when he left office. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban.
Oh my God!
On
until you get the total ban, huh?
Relative to what we're going to do with more border control and more.
The one who created the case.
President Trump.
I really don't know what he said at the end of this. We had the safest border in the history of our country.
Yeah, he about to die.
All he had to do was leave it. All he had to do is leave it. He decided to open up our border, open up our country to people that are from prisons, people that are from mental institutions,
don't even know where the fuck he is.
Terrorists. We have the largest number of
I
terrorists.
think you're going to stroke out, dude.
Right now.
That man is lost.
All over the world.
I think you're
not
going to
just in
stroke
South
out.
America, all over the world. They come
Watch that left
from the
eye.
Middle East, everywhere, all over the world. They're pouring in.
And he's all
just left it open, and he didn't need legislation because I didn't have legislation. I said close the border. We had the safest border in history. In that final couple of months of my presidency, we had, according to Border Patrol, who is great, and by the way, who endorsed me for president, but I won't say that, but they endorsed me for president. Brandon, just speak to him. But look, we had the safest border in history. Now we have the worst border in history. There's never been anything like it. And people are dying all over the place, including the people that are coming up in caravans.
President Trump. President Biden?
The only terrorist who's done anything crossing the border is one who came along and killed 3, under his administration, killed an Al-Qaeda person coming in his administration, killed 3 American soldiers, killed 3 American soldiers. That's the only terrorist that's there. I'm not saying that no terrorist ever got through, but the idea they're emptying their prisons, we're welcoming these people, that's simply not true. There's no data to support
He can just say whatever he
Once
wants.
again, he's exaggerating, he's lying.
President Trump, staying on the topic of immigration, you've said that you're going to carry out, quote, the largest domestic deportation operation in American history, unquote. Does that mean that you will deport every undocumented immigrant in America, including those who have jobs, including those whose spouses are citizens, and including those who have lived here for decades? And if so, how will you do it?
Just 1 second. He said we killed 3 people. The people we killed are al-Baghdadi and Soleimani, the 2 greatest terrorists, biggest terrorists anywhere in the world. And it had a huge impact on everything, not just border, on everything. He's the one that killed people with the bad water, including hundreds of thousands of people dying and also killing our citizens when they come in. We are living right now in a rat's nest. They're killing our people in New York, in California, in every state in the union, because we don't have borders anymore. Every state is now a border. And because of his ridiculous, insane, and very stupid policies, people are coming in and they're killing our citizens at a level that we've never seen. We call it migrant crime. I call it Biden migrant crime. They're killing our citizens at a level that we've never seen before. And you're reading it like these three incredible young girls over the last few days. One of them, I just spoke to the mother, and they just had the funeral for this girl, 12 years old. This is horrible what's taken place. What's taken place in our country, we're literally an uncivilized country now.
And that crime took place not too far from where I fucking live.
Nobody's ever
So
seen anything
I
like
wish these
but we have to
motherfuckers
get a lot
would
of these
try to
people out, and we
downplay
have
that
to get
shit.
them out fast because they're going to destroy our country. Just take a look at where they're living. They're living in luxury hotels in New York City and other places. Our veterans are on the street. They're dying because he doesn't care about our veterans. He doesn't care. He doesn't like the military at all. And he doesn't care about our veterans. Nobody been worse. I have the highest approval rating for veterans taking care of the VA. He has the worst. He's gotten rid of all the things that I approved, choice that I got through Congress, all of the different things I approved, they abandoned. We had by far the highest, and now it's down in less than half because he's done all these great things that we did. And I think he did it just because I approved it, which is crazy. But he has killed so many people at our border by allowing all of these people to come in.
And tell us how you're going to get these niggas up out of here.
Every single thing he said is a lie. Every single one. For example, veterans are a hell of a lot better off since I passed the PACT Act. 1 million of them now have insurance, and their families have it.
He's about to die.
Their families have it because what happened?
Well, he is struggling to get this shit stopped.
Covered now.
He's a damn liar.
The group opposed that. We're also in a situation where we have great respect for veterans. My son spent a year in Iraq.
Oh my God!
Came back.
We're not doing
For
this.
glioblastoma. I was recently in France for D-Day, and I spoke all about those heroes that died. I went to the World War II cemetery. World War I cemetery he refused to go to. He was standing with his 4-star general, and he told me, he said, I don't want to go in there because they're a bunch of losers and suckers. My son was not a loser, was not a sucker. You're the sucker. You're the loser.
President Trump?
That was an emotional argument. All right.
They made it up. It was in a third-rate magazine that's failing, like many of these magazines. He made that up. He put it in commercials. We've notified him. We had 19 people that said I didn't say it. And think of this. Who would say I'm at a cemetery or I'm talking about our veterans? Because nobody's taken better care. I'm so glad this came up and he brought it up. There's nobody that's taken better care of our soldiers than I have. To think that I would, in front of generals and others, say suckers and losers. We have 19 people that said it was never said by me. It was made up by him, just like Russia was made up, just like the 51 intelligence agents are made up, just like the new thing with the 16 economists are talking. It's the same thing. 51 intelligence agents said that the laptop was Russia disinformation. It wasn't. That came from his son, Hunter. It wasn't Russia disinformation. He made up the suckers and losers, so he should apologize to me right now.
Four-star general standing to your side who was on your staff who said you said it, period. That's number one. And number two, the idea that I have to apologize to you for anything along the line. We've done more for veterans than any president has in American history.
That's a damn lie.
And they now are in their family. The only sacred obligation we have as a country is to care for our veterans when they come home and their families and equip them when they go to war. That's what we're doing. That's what the VA is doing now. They're doing more for veterans than ever before in our history.
All right. Thank you so much.
Absolutely not.
Topic of foreign policy. I want to begin with Russia's war against Ukraine, which is now in its third year. Former President Trump, Russian President Vladimir Putin says he'll only end this war if Russia keeps the Ukrainian territory it has already claimed and Ukraine abandons its bid to join NATO. Are Putin's terms acceptable to you?
First of all, our veterans and our soldiers can't stand this guy. They can't stand him. They think he's the worst commander-in-chief, if that's what you call him, that we've ever had. They can't stand him. So let's get that straight. And they like me more than just about any of them. And that's
That's a
based on
fact.
every single bit of information. As far as Russia and Ukraine, if we had a real president, the president that knew, that was respected by Putin, he would have never invaded Ukraine. A lot of people are dead right now, much more than people know. You know, they talk about numbers. You can double those numbers, maybe triple those numbers. He did nothing to stop it. In fact, I think he encouraged Russia from going in. I'll tell you what happened. He was so bad with Afghanistan. It was such a horrible embarrassment, most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, that when Putin watched that and he saw the incompetence, that he should have fired those generals, like I fired the one that you mentioned. And so he's got no love lost, but he should have fired those generals. No general got fired for the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, Afghanistan, where we left billions of dollars of equipment behind. We lost 13 beautiful soldiers, and 38 soldiers were obliterated. And by the way, we left people behind too. We left American citizens behind. When Putin saw that, he said, you know what? I think we're going to go in and maybe take this was his dream. I talked to him about it, his dream. The difference is he never would have invaded Ukraine, never. Just like Israel would have never been invaded in a million years by Hamas. You know why? Because Iran was broke with me. I wouldn't let anybody do business with them. They ran out of money. They were broke. They had no money for Hamas. They had no money for anything, no money for terror. That's why you had no terror at all during my administration. This place, the whole world is blowing up under him.
President Biden?
I've never heard so much malarkey in my whole life. Look, the fact of the matter is that we're in a situation where, let's take the last point first. Iran attacked American troops, caused brain damage for a number of these troops, and he did nothing about it. Recently, not when he was president. They attacked. He said they're just having headaches. That's all it is. He didn't do a thing when the attack took place, number one. Number two, we got over 100,000 Americans and others out of Afghanistan during that airlift. Number three, we find ourselves in a situation where, if you take a look at what Trump did in Ukraine, this guy told Trump, do whatever you want and do whatever you want. And that's exactly what Trump did to Putin, encourage him, do whatever you want. And he went in. And listen to what he said when he went in. He was going to take Kyiv in 5 days, remember? Because it's part of the old Soviet Union. That's what he wanted to reestablish. Kyiv, and he in fact didn't do it at all. He wasn't able to get it done, and they've lost thousands and thousands of troops. 500,000.
What's that got to do with Trump?
President Trump,
I never said that.
For 1 minute, I just want to go back to my original question, which is, are Putin's terms acceptable to you? Keeping the territory in Ukraine?
No, they're not acceptable. But look, this is a war that never should have started. If we had a leader in this war, he led everybody along. He's given $200 billion now or more to Ukraine. He's given $200 billion. That's a lot of money. I don't think there's ever been anything like it. Every time that Zelensky comes to this country, he walks away with $60 billion. He's the greatest salesman ever. And I'm not knocking him. I'm not knocking anything. I'm only saying the money that we're spending on this war, and we shouldn't be spending, it should have never happened. I will have that war settled between Putin and Zelensky as president-elect before I take office on January 20th. I'll have that war settled. People being killed so needlessly, so stupidly, and I will get it settled, and I'll get it settled fast before I take office.
President Biden, you have a minute.
The fact is that Putin is a war criminal. He's killed thousands and thousands of people. And he has made one thing clear. He wants to reestablish what was part of the Soviet Empire, not just a piece. He wants all of Ukraine. That's what he wants. And then you think he'll stop there? Do you think he'll stop when if he takes Ukraine? What do you think happens to Poland? What do you think of Belarus?
He'll stop for about 10 years while he builds his army back up.
And so if you want a war, you ought to find out what he's going to do, because if in fact he does what he says and walks away, by the way, all that money we give Ukraine are from weapons we make here in the United States. We give them the weapons, not the money at this point. And our NATO allies
at this point, you're still giving them fucking weapons. Like what are we doing?
That's why we're strong.
Thank you. Moving on to the Middle East. In October, Hamas attacked Israel. killing more than 1,000 people and taking hundreds of hostages. Among those held
Who
and
cares?
thought
Talk
to
about
still be
America.
alive are 5 Americans.
True, Kai.
Israel's response has killed thousands of Palestinians and created a humanitarian crisis in Gaza. President Biden,
No, I'd say
you put forward
Hamas's
a
actions did that.
proposal to resolve this conflict, but so far
not our job
Hamas
to
has
resolve it.
not released the remaining hostages, and Israel is continuing its military offensive in Gaza. So what additional leverage will you use to get
Moron,
Hamas
answer
and
him.
Israel
None.
to end the war? You have 2 minutes.
Number
None.
one, everyone from the United Nations Security Council straight through to the G7 to the Israelis and Netanyahu himself have endorsed the plan I put forward. Which has 3 stages to it. The first stage is trade the hostages for a ceasefire. Second phase is a ceasefire with additional conditions.
And they didn't
Third
trade the
phase is
hostages for a
no,
ceasefire.
the end of the war. The only one who wants the war to continue is Hamas. Number one, they're the only ones standing out. We're still pushing hard to get them to accept. In the meantime, what's happened in Israel? We're finding that the only thing I've denied Israel was 2,000-pound bombs. They don't work very well in populated areas. They kill a lot of innocent people. We're providing Israel with all the weapons they need and when they need them. And by the way, I'm the guy that organized the world against Iran when they had a full-blown intercontinental ballistic missile attack on Israel. No one was hurt. No one Israeli was accidentally killed, and
He literally released their billions of dollars before all this happened.
Of support for Israel of anyone in the world, and so they're 2 different things. Hamas cannot be allowed to be continued. We continue to send our experts and our intelligence people as to how they can get Hamas like we did bin Laden. You don't have to do it. And by the way, they've been greatly weakened, Hamas, greatly weakened, and they should be. They should be eliminated. But you've got to be careful for using certain weapons among population centers.
Just going back to Ukraine for 1 second. We have an ocean separating us. The European nations together have spent 100 billion or maybe more than that, less than us. Why doesn't he call them and say, you got to put up your money like I did with NATO? I got them to put up hundreds of billions of dollars. The Secretary General of NATO said Trump did the most incredible job I've ever seen. They wouldn't have any, they were going out of business. We were spending almost 100% of the money was paid by us. He didn't do that. He's getting you got to ask these people to put up the money. We're over $100 billion more spent, and it has a bigger impact on them because of location, because we have an ocean in between. You got to ask them. As far as Israel and Hamas, Israel's the one that wants to go. He said the only one that wants to keep going is Hamas. Actually, Israel is the one, and you should let him go and let him finish the job. He doesn't want to do it. He's become like a Palestinian, but they don't like him because he's a very bad Palestinian. He's a weak one.
President Biden, you have a minute.
I've never heard so much foolishness. This is the guy who wants to get out of NATO. Are you going to stay in NATO?
No.
He's going to pull out of NATO.
Absolutely.
The idea that we have
Why the fuck should we stay in NATO?
As well. It may be a big ocean, but were we ever able to avoid a war in Europe, a major war in Europe? What happens if, in fact, you have Putin continuing to go into NATO? We have an Article 5 agreement. Attack on one is attack on all. You want to start the nuclear war he keeps talking about, go ahead. Let Putin go in and control Ukraine and then move on to Poland and other places. See what happens then. He has no idea what the hell he's talking about. And by the way, I got 50 other nations around the world to support Ukraine, including Japan and South Korea, because they understand that this kind of dislocation is a serious threat to the
Japan and South Korea are both broke. They don't have much to give.
Just to Europe.
Talking about
President Trump, just to follow up, would you support the creation of an independent Palestinian state in order to achieve peace in the region?
I'd have to see, but before we do that, the problem we have is that we spend all the money. So they kill us on trade. I made great trade deals with the European nations because if you add them up, they're about the same size economically.
What happened, Tom?
Oh, my bad. I hit the wrong button.
Who's wage in the morning?
Billions of dollars. I said, and he's right about this. I said, no, I'm not going to support NATO if you don't pay. They asked me that question. Would you guard us against Russia at a very secret meeting of the 28 states at that time, nations at that time? And they said, no, if you don't pay, I won't do that. And you know what happened? Billions and billions of dollars came flowing in the next day and the next months. But now we're in the same position. We're paying everybody's bills.
Let's turn to the issue of democracy. Former President Trump, I want to ask you about January 6, 2021. After you rallied your supporters that day, some of them stormed the Capitol to stop the constitutionally mandated counting of electoral votes.
Here we go.
As president, you swore an oath to, quote, preserve, protect, and defend, unquote, the Constitution. What do you say to voters who believe that you violated that oath through your actions and inaction on January 6th and worry that you'll do it again?
Well, I don't think too many believe that. And let me tell you about January 6th. On January 6th, we had a great border. Nobody coming through, very few. On January 6th, we were energy independent. On January 6th, we had the lowest taxes ever. We had the lowest regulations ever. On January 6th, we were respected all over the world. All over the world, we were respected. And then he comes in, and we're now laughed at. We're like a bunch of stupid people. What happened to the United States' reputation under this man's leadership is horrible, including weaponization, which I'm sure at some point you'll be talking about. Where
and that's what he's doing, not answering.
He can't beat them fair and square.
Yeah.
You have 80 seconds left. My question was, what do you say to those voters who believe that you violated your constitutional oath for your actions and inaction on January 2021 and worry that you'll do it again?
As many of fucking times they violate the Constitution.
Peacefully and patriotically. And Nancy Pelosi, if you just watched the news from 2 days ago, on tape to her daughter, who's a documentary filmmaker, they say. But she's saying, oh, no, it's my responsibility. I was responsible for this. Because I offered her 10,000 soldiers or National Guard, and she turned them down. And the mayor of, in writing, by the way, the mayor, in writing, turned it down. The mayor of D.C. They turned it down. I offered 10,000 because I could see, I had virtually nothing to do. They asked me to go make a speech. I could see what was happening. Everybody was saying they're going to be there on January 6th. They're going to be there. And I said, you know what? There's a lot of people coming. You could feel it. You could feel it too, and you could feel it. And I said, they ought to have some National Guard or whatever. And I offered it to her. And she now admits that she turned it down. And it was the same day she was, I don't know, she can't be very happy with her daughter because it made her into a liar. She said, I take full responsibility for January 6th.
Absolutely.
President Biden?
She sure did.
He encouraged those folks to go up to the Capitol Hill, number one. I sat in the dining room off the Oval Office. He sat there for 3 hours watching, begging, being begged by his vice president and a number of his colleagues in the Republican
Well, how the fuck would he encourage people if he's asking for?
Instead, they talked about these people being patriots and great patrons of America. In fact, he says he'll not forgive them for what they've done. They've been convicted. He says he wants to commute their sentences and say that no. But he went to every single court in the nation.
What the fuck?
I don't know how many cases, scores of cases, including the Supreme Court. And they said, no, this guy is responsible for doing what was done.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Damn thing. And these people.
Bro, I hate how he talks.
And they
who would vote for this man just how he talks?
And he wants to let them all out. And now he says
biggest question after this debate: who's going to replace Biden?
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
I told you it's two old white men arguing.
Some people that are so innocent. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. What you have done, how you've destroyed the lives of so many people when they ripped down Portland, when they ripped down many other cities. You go to Minnesota, Minneapolis, what they've done there with the fires all over the city. If I didn't bring in the National Guard, that city would have been destroyed. When you look at all of they took over big chunks of Seattle. I was all set to bring in the National Guard. They heard that, they saw them coming, and they left immediately. What he said about this whole subject is so off. Peacefully patriotic. One other thing. The Unselect Committee, which is basically two horrible Republicans that are all gone now out of office, and Democrats, all Democrats, they destroyed and deleted all of the information they found because they found out we were right. We were right. And they deleted and destroyed all of the information. They should go to jail for that. If a Republican did that, they'd go to jail.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, I want to give
Come
you
on with the facts.
The only person on this stage is a convicted felon.
Jamal Bowman.
Here we go.
I was
Here we
waiting.
go with the
The matter
convicted
is,
felon shit.
what he's telling you is simply not true. The fact is that there was no effort on his part to stop what was going on up in Capitol Hill. And all those people, every one of those who were convicted, deserves to be convicted. The idea that they didn't kill somebody, just went in and broke down doors, broke the windows, occupied offices, turned over desks, turned them over statues. The idea that those people are patriots, come on. When I asked him the first two debates we had, first time around, I said, denounce the Proud Boys. He said, no, I'll tell them to stand by. The idea he's refusing, will you denounce these guys? You denounce the people we're talking about now? You denounce the people who attacked that Capitol? No. What are you going to do?
Do you denounce BLM?
I'm going to give you a minute, President Trump, for a follow-up question I have. After a jury convicted you of 34 felonies last month, you said if reelected, you would, quote, have every right to go after, unquote, your political opponents. You just talked about members of the Select Committee on January 6th going to jail. Your main political opponent is standing on stage with you tonight. Can you clarify exactly what it means about you feeling you have every right to go after your political opponents?
Well, I said my retribution is going to be success. We're going to make this country successful again, because right now it's a failing nation. My retribution is going to be success. But when he talks about a convicted felon, his son is a convicted felon.
I know
at
it.
a very high level.
There
His
you
son is
go.
going to be convicted probably numerous other times. Should have been convicted before, but his Justice Department let the statute of limitations lapse on the most important things. But he could be a convicted felon as soon as he gets out of office. Joe could be a convicted felon with all of the things that he's done. He's done horrible things.
Don't talk about my son, Jack.
The border, telling the Ukrainian people that we're going to want $1 billion or you change the prosecutor. Otherwise, you're not getting $1 billion. If I ever said that, that's quid pro quo. That we're not going to do anything. We're not going to give you $1 billion unless you change your prosecutor having to do with the son. This man is a criminal. This man, you're lucky. You're lucky. I did nothing wrong. We'd have a system that was rigged and disgusting. I did nothing wrong.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, you have said, I'm coming right to you, sir. You want to respond? Go ahead. I'll give you a minute to respond.
My son,
that I did anything wrong relative to what you're talking about is outrageous. It's simply a lie, number one.
No, it's
Number
not.
two,
It's all
the
fucking
idea that
video.
you have a right to seek retribution against
Why does he
another
keep
just
doing
because you're
that
president
every time he's about
is
to
wrong.
speak?
It's simply wrong. No president's ever spoken like
Because
that
he's
before. No president in our history
not mentally
spoken
right.
like that before.
He
Number three,
begins his statements with an ad hominem attack.
charged with, and think of all the civil penalties you have. How many billions of dollars do you owe in civil penalties for molesting a woman in public? For
Oh,
doing
no, we're not about to do this.
Of having sex with a porn star on the night while your wife is pregnant.
This is the worst debate
what are you
ever.
talking about?
Not criminal.
You have the morals of an alley
Not
cat.
criminal.
Give your minute, sir.
I didn't have
That'd be
sex
the
with a
worst
porn
debate.
star, number one. Number two, that was a case that was started and moved. They moved a high-ranking official, a DOJ, into the Manhattan DA's office to start that case. That case is going to be appealed and won. We had a very terrible judge, a horrible judge, Democrat. The prosecutor were all high-ranking Democrats, appointed people, and both the civil and the criminal. He basically went after his political opponent because he thought it was going to damage me. But when the public found out about these cases, because they understand it better than he does, he has no idea what these cases are. But when they found out about these cases, you know what they did? My poll numbers went up, way up. You know that because you're reporting it. And we took in more money in the last 2 weeks than we've ever taken in the history of any campaign. I don't think any campaign
what's wrong with this
has
man?
ever taken. Hundreds of millions of dollars came pouring in
about to fall
because
out.
the public
Yo, he
knows
looked
it's
like he's having a
scam,
stroke.
and it's a guy that's
He's
after his
gonna stroke
political
out if
opponent
this
because he
keeps
can't
going.
win fair and square.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, you have said, quote, Donald Trump and his MAGA Republicans are determined to destroy American democracy. Do you believe that the tens of millions of Americans who are likely to vote for President Trump will be voting against American democracy?
The more they know about what he's done, yes. the more they know about what he's done. And there's a lot
I
more
want
coming.
Trump to
He's got
say
a lot
we're
of
not a
cases along the
democracy,
road
we're a
coming out.
republic.
He's got a whole range of issues he has to face. I don't know what the juries will do, but I do know he has a real problem. And so the fact that, could you ever think you heard any president say that I'm going to seek retribution? Do you ever hear any presidents say that I thought Hitler had some good ideas?
Yeah,
What got me
take a
involved
shower
in
with
the
his
first
daughter.
place after my son had died, I decided in Iraq, because of Iraq, I said I wasn't going to run again.
You ever watch
Until
President
I
shit
saw what
himself on
happened in
national
Charlottesville,
TV?
Virginia. People coming out of the woods carrying swastikas on torches, and singing the same anti-Semitic bile they sang when back in Germany. And the young woman I spoke to the mother.
There's the Nazi
They asked
comparison.
him, they said, what do you think of those people? The people the ones
It's
got killed, the
literally
one who tried to stop
funding
him.
Nazis in Ukraine.
I think they're fine people on both sides. What American president?
Not what he said.
Nazis coming out of fields, carrying torches, singing the same anti-Semitic bile, carrying swastikas, were fine people.
Isn't that what the Ukrainian army is carrying swastikas? Are they serious?
This guy has no sense of American democracy.
President Trump.
Jake, both of you know that story has been totally wiped out, because when you see the sentence, it said 100% exoneration on that. So he just keeps it going. He says he ran because of Charlottesville. He didn't run because of Charlottesville. He ran because it was his last chance. He's not equipped to be president. You know it, and I know it. It's ridiculous. We have a debate. We're trying to justify his presidency. His presidency, he's without question the worst president, the worst presidency in the history of our country. We shouldn't be having a debate about it. There's nothing to debate. He made up the Charlottesville story, and you'll see it's debunked all over the place. Every reasonable anchor has debunked it. And just the other day, it came out where it was fully debunked. It's a nonsense story. He knows that, and he didn't run because of Charlottesville. He used that as an excuse to run.
President Biden.
And debunked. It happened. All you have to do is listen to what was said at the time. And the idea that somehow that's the only reason I ran. I ran because I was worried a guy like this guy could get elected. If he thought
CNN actually admitted it
coming out of that forest, carrying those woods, carrying those torches, then he didn't deserve to be president. Didn't deserve to be president at all. And the idea that he's talking about all this being fabricated, we saw with our own eyes. We saw what happened on January 6th. We saw the people breaking through the windows. We saw people occupying his own vice president. Look, there's a reason why 40 of his 44 top cabinet officers refused to endorse him this time. His vice president hasn't endorsed him this time. So why?
No one
why?
cares.
They know him well. They serve with him. Why are they not endorsing him?
Thank you, President Biden. We're going to be right back with more from the
Because
CNN.
they're establishment cronies. Like, what the fuck? Like, are you serious?
I find it funny he talked about this man with swastikas and such, but you were literally the one who was giving praise to people in the KKK. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Right. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? What are your thoughts?
Hold on. Listen. So I was going to do a show with them crooked cops tomorrow. I think I'm about to do a review of this shit. This motherfucker is about this motherfucker is about to die on stage. I think you about to lose your 5, Tom, and not because they want him to win. It's because I don't think they juiced him up for a reason. I think they want him to be out of there. This is crazy.
They do. They're looking for a reason to replace him.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Joe Biden is gonna win re-election, sir.
No, sir. I think he got 2 days to live.
I'm telling you that.
I agree with Tom.
It doesn't matter because Tom's going to be paying me that $60, so we good.
Dude, he looked like my dad on his deathbed.
I'm telling you now, $60 in my pockets. I wanted it once, nigga.
Nigga, I told you how I wanted it in 2s. You better go to the bank and you better get them specially printed 2s. You better be at my doorstep, nicely wrapped with edible arrangements. Damn it.
No,
Keep an eye on 3 people: Gavin Newsom, Les Moore, and Michelle Obama.
Michelle Obama's not running. Gavin Newsom is a shell of himself. The other gentleman has a better. The other gentleman you mentioned has a better chance. Gavin's not doing shit.
They said he couldn't have a teleprompter or notes.
Yeah, no notes.
Well, he had an earpiece in.
Of course.
I think that was his hearing aid at this point.
Big Mo, I know I'm wrong. Let people say it, but I'm telling you right now, the one thing I know about goddamn Democrats is they love to cheat, and I don't expect nothing else but that to happen. So don't go to sleep. I'm telling you that right now, because when y'all motherfuckers think it's over and y'all go to sleep, that nigga gonna be up by 200,000 goddamn votes again. And y'all won't be like, I told you so.
I don't think he gonna make it, man. This is crazy.
This is to get rid of him, I think.
Yeah, you think all you want. I'm telling you,
they gave him. They gave him a shot. It just had saline in it this time.
Tom, you don't think this crazy? Even you before this.
Listen, you know I don't like this motherfucker, but I know what Democrats love to do. I'm gonna tell you this.
I understand you. I hear you.
Democrats don't love to lose. Democrats hate losing, and they will do what it takes to win. That's one thing I know about Democrats.
Yeah, but you said yourself that he was going to give him that good stuff before the.
Oh, they said fuck this nigga this time.
Yeah, this is.
Maybe they win for the second half.
They hoping he
let him hang him.
But outside of him dying and him still being alive, he's still gonna be the nominee. Looking around like this. Oh, where my I was on camera. Hold on, this nigga was looking around like this.
Dude, live updates on CNN say Trump has landed several zingers, putting Biden on defense.
Yes, I was gonna say he's losing.
And this on CNN.
I don't think he's gonna make it because I've never seen no shit like this.
Hey, Tom, I think it's coming back.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Yeah, this is literally fucking elder abuse.
This motherfucker said it's 1,000 trillionaires in the United States.
Yeah, he's out of his mind.
Fiona says that look in Biden's eyes, you can see the teleprompter.
I'm not listening to another man.
Georgia. Let's talk about persistent challenges you both faced in your first terms, and you'd certainly face again in a second term. President Biden, while Black unemployment dropped to a record low under your presidency, Black families still earn far less than white families. Black mothers are still 3 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related causes. And Black Americans are imprisoned at 5 times the rate of white Americans. What do you say to Black voters who are disappointed that you haven't made more progress?
You ain't Black if you vote for Trump.
Number one. The fact of the matter is there's more small Black businesses that have been started than any time in history.
Shit.
Number two, the wages of Black unemployment is the lowest level it's been in
but are they successful businesses?
Number
So
three,
that's so right. The BLS numbers don't even bear that out.
Americans and dealing with the segregation that exists among these corporate
segregation. Tom married to a white woman. What are you talking about?
People out of their houses. And in addition to that, we find that the impact on the
oh my god!
Oh my god! This is dreadful. What the fuck are we doing, man?
Is incredibly difficult. When we did the first major piece of legislation in the past, I was able to reduce Black child care costs. I cut them in half.
How did you reduce?
We're going to make sure we provide for child care costs.
That's a good ass question.
Because when you provide that child
by
care
reducing the number of Black kids,
increase economic growth because more people can be in the job market.
Oh, okay.
So
there you go. There you go.
Considerably more to be done, but we've done a great deal so far, and I'm not letting up, and they know it.
You have 49 seconds left. What do you say to Black voters who are disappointed with the progress so far?
I say I don't blame
niggas, please.
Disappointed.
He said, "Nigga, please."
Still hurting them badly. For example, I provided for the idea that any Black family first-time home buyer should get a $10,000 tax credit to be able to buy their first home.
Yo, isn't it the same shit they did in 2008?
All those Black families and those Black individuals.
Which led to the housing crisis? What the?
They did it in 2006, 2007, which led to 2008.
Engaged in nursing.
What does do about Black people upset with them? He said, "What buy houses?" Come on.
If they pay
not to mention that 1% tax
all the rest are given after 10 years. Millions have benefited from that.
Help the poor, unquote.
Uh-oh.
I think Tom muted because y'all niggas won't shut up.
I think he's frozen.
He's frozen.
Yeah, he's frozen.
You jickaboos don't know how to stop talking.
Oh no, sir! Don't you say that.
Goddamn
the whole time.
I ain't say. Listen, whoa! Y'all talk way more than me. I've been quiet.
I've been trying to get y'all to shut up the whole time.
You ain't shut the fuck up yet.
I've been trying to tell y'all. I've been trying to shut up the whole time, man. Like, you talk too much.
Sir, you can't even. You sound like Joe Biden right now. We understand what you're saying.
They can't
just shut up so we can hear
anymore.
Y'all know his back up.
Inflation. I gave him a country with essentially no inflation. It was perfect. It
Gosh.
was so good. All he had to do is leave it alone. He destroyed it with his Green New scam and all this money that's being thrown out the window. He caused inflation. As sure as you're sitting there, the fact is that his big kill on black people is the millions of people that he's allowed to come in through the border. They're taking black jobs now, and it could be 19 and even 20 million people. They're taking black jobs, and they're taking Hispanic jobs, and you haven't seen it yet, but you're going to see something that's going to be the worst in our history.
Thank you. President Biden?
They take a white job.
There was no inflation when I became president. You know why? The economy was flat on its back. 15% unemployment. He decimated the economy, absolutely decimated the economy. That's why there was no inflation at the time. There were no jobs.
50%.
Thousands of millions of jobs for individuals who live in all communities, including minority communities. We made sure that they have health insurance. We have covered, the ACA has increased. I made sure that they're $8,000 per person in a family to get written off for the health care. But this guy wants to eliminate that. They tried 50 times. He wants to get rid of the ACA again. And they're going to try again if they win. You find ourselves in a position where the idea that we're not doing any, we put more police on the street than any administration has.
That's a lie.
We're providing for equity and making sure people have a shot to make it.
He definitely baked out some more money.
But in inflation, he caused it by his
there you go talking
malfeasance in the way.
Whoa!
Thank you.
Nigga sound like John the
Another persistent
Baptist.
challenge is the climate crisis.
2023
was the hottest year in recorded history, and communities across the country are confronting the devastating effects of extreme heat, intensifying wildfires, stronger hurricanes, and rising sea levels. Former President Trump, you've vowed to end your opponent's climate initiatives, but will you take any action as president to slow the climate crisis?
Well, let me just
literally
nothing about the police, how close the police are to him. Almost every police group in the nation from every state is supporting Donald J. Trump. Almost every police group. And what he's done to the black population is horrible, including the fact that for 10 years he called them super predators. We can't, in the 1990s, we can't forget that. Super predators was his name, and he called it to them for 10, and they've taken great offense at it, and now they see it happening. But when they see what I did for criminal justice reform and for the historically black colleges and universities, where I funded them and got them all funded, and the opportunity zones with Tim, as you know, Tim Scott was incredible. He did a great job, great senator from South Carolina. He came to me with the idea, and it was a great idea. It's one of the most successful economic development acts ever in the country, opportunity zones. And the biggest beneficiary are blacks. And that's why we have the best numbers with them in maybe ever. They're saying ever. I read this morning where ever, the best numbers. He's lost much of the black population because he's done a horrible job for black people. He's also done a horrible job for Hispanics. But wait till you see these millions of people pouring into our country, and they're going to take the jobs, and it's already started, and you haven't seen anything yet. It's a disaster.
You've 38 seconds left. President Trump, will you take any action as president to slow the climate crisis?
So I want absolutely immaculate clean water, and I want absolutely clean air, and we had it. We had H2O. We had the best numbers ever, and we were using all forms of energy, all forms, everything. And yet, during my 4 years, I had the best environmental numbers ever. And my top environmental people gave me that statistic just before I walked on the stage, actually.
I don't know where the hell he's been. The idea that anything he said is true. I passed the most extensive climate change legislation in history. We find ourselves, and by the way, black colleges. I came up with $15 billion for HBCUs, historic black universities and colleges, because they don't have those. They don't have the kind of contributors that they have to build these laboratories.
Is he reading from a
any black
script?
student is capable in college of doing any white student can do. They just don't have the money. But now they'll be able to get those jobs.
Bro, you think that close to have to know?
Where the idea that
Yeah, what are we still in the 50s, bro?
to have done something that had the cleanest water, he hadn't done a damn thing for the environment. He pulled out of the Paris Peace Accord, Climate Accord. I immediately joined it.
He said Climate Accord.
1.5 degrees Celsius at any one point where there's no way back. The only existential threat to humanity is climate change, and he didn't do a damn thing about it. He must undo all that I've done.
The Paris Accord was going to cost us $1 trillion, and China nothing, and Russia nothing, and India nothing. It was a ripoff of the United States. And I ended it because I didn't want to waste that money because they treat us horribly. We were the only ones who was costing us money. Nobody else was paying into it. And it was a disaster. But everything that he said just now, I'll give you an example. I heard him say before insulin. I'm the one that got the insulin down for the seniors. I took care of the seniors. What he's doing is destroying all of our medical programs because the migrants coming in, they want everybody. And look, I have the biggest heart on the stage. I guarantee you that. And I want to take care of people, but we're destroying our country. They're taking over our schools, our hospitals, and they're going to be taking over Social Security. He is destroying Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid.
The idea is that we, in fact, we were the only ones of consequence who were not members of the Paris Accord. How can we do anything if we're not able to? One of the largest polluters in the world, number one. We're making significant progress. By 2035, we will have cut pollution in half. We have made significant progress, and we're continuing to make progress. We set up a climate corps for thousands of young people will learn how to deal with climate, just like the Peace Corps. And we're moving in directions that are going to significantly change the elements of cause of pollution. But the idea that he claims that he has the biggest heart up here and he's really concerned about pollution and about climate, I've not seen any indication of that. And by the way, with regard to prescription drugs, one company agreed that they would reduce the price to $35, which I was calling for, one, voluntarily. I made sure every company in the world, every pharmaceutical company, cannot have to pay.
Thank you.
And by the way,
thank you.
So every day, millions of Americans struggle just to make ends meet. For many older Americans, Social Security provides a critical lifeline. President Biden, if nothing is done to Social Security, seniors will see their benefits cut in just over 10 years. Will you name tonight one specific step that you're willing to take to keep Social Security solvent?
yes, make the very wealthy begin to pay their fair share.
What does
Right
that
now,
mean?
everybody making under $170,000 pays 6% of their income, of their paycheck, every single time they get a paycheck from the time of the first one they get when they're 18 years old. The idea that they're going to,
People don't get fucking paychecks like normal people.
The millionaires pay 1%.
God
1%. So no one I would not raise the cost of Social Security for anybody under $400,000. After that, I began to make the wealthy begin to pay their fair share by
Pay their
increasing
fair
from
share so we
1%
can pay
beyond
the fucking
being able to
illegals.
Guarantee the program for life.
So you still have 82 seconds left. Are there any other measures that you think that would be able to help keep Social Security solvent, or is just
If they stop talking, they shouldn't remind them they've got time
Will
left.
keep it solvent, but the biggest thing I'll do if we defeat this man, because he wants to get rid of Social Security. He thinks there's plenty to cut in Social Security. He's wanting to cut Social Security and Medicare both times, and that's what. And if you look at the program put forward by the House Republican caucus that I believe supports, is in fact want to cut it as well. The idea that we don't need to protect our seniors is ridiculous.
You can answer a question.
And by the way, the American public has greater health care coverage today than ever before. And on the ACA, as I said, you're in a circumstance where 400,000 people, 40 million people would not have insurance because they have a pre-existing condition. Only thing that allows them to have that insurance is the fact that they, in fact, are part of the ACA. And by the way, the other thing is we're in a situation where we talk about education for black communities. I've raised the amount of money for Pell Grants another $8,000. So anybody making under $70,000 a year is going to be able to get $15,000 toward their tuition. He just doesn't know what he's talking about.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump.
So I've dealt with politicians all my life. I've been on this side of the equation for the last 8 years. I've never seen anybody lie like this guy. He lies. I've never seen it. He can look you in the face. About so many other things too. And we mentioned the laptop. We mentioned Russia, Ukraine. Everything he does is a lie. It's misinformation and disinformation. The losers and suckers story that he made up is a total lie on the military. It's a disgrace. But Social Security, he's destroying it because millions of people are pouring into our country, and they're putting them onto Social Security. They're putting them onto Medicare, Medicaid. They're putting them in our hospitals. They're taking the place of our citizens. What they're doing to the VA, to our veterans, is unbelievable. Our veterans are living in the street, and these people are living in luxury hotels. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Taking up VA hospital space.
It's really coming back. I've never seen such
Say it, Mayo.
in the country before.
President Biden.
The idea that veterans are not being taken care of, I told you before. And by the way, when I said suckers and losers, he acknowledged after that he fired that general. That general got fired because he's the one that acknowledged that that's what he said. He was the one standing with Trump when he said it, number one. Number two, the idea that we're going to be in a situation where all these illegal aliens are coming into the country and taking away our jobs. There's a reason why we have the fastest growing economy in the world. The reason why we have the most successful economy in the world. We're doing better than any other nation in the world. And by the way, those 15 Nobel laureates he talked about being phony, those 15 Nobel laureates, economists, they all said that if Trump is reelected, we're likely to have a recession. And inflation is going to increasingly go up. And by the way, worst president in history, 159 presidential scholars voted him the worst president in the history of the United States.
Who gives President Biden, thank you so much. Let's turn to the cost of child care, which many American families struggle to afford. President Trump, both you and President Biden have tried to address this issue, but the average cost of child care in this country has risen to more than $11,000 a year per child. For many families,
the cost of child care
for 2 children is more than their rent. In your second term, what would you do
That's a
to
fact.
make child care
Welfare
more
gives it for free.
Just to go back, the general got fired because he was no good. And if he said that, that's why he made it up. But we have 19 people that said I didn't say it, and they're very highly respected, much more so than him. The other thing is, he doesn't fire people. He never fired people. I've never seen him fire anybody. I did fire a lot. I fired Comey because he was no good. I fired a lot of the top people at the FBI, drained the swamp. They were no good. Not easy to fire people. You'd pay a price for it, but they were no good. I inherited these people. I didn't put them there. I didn't put Comey there. He was no good. I fired him. This guy hasn't fired anybody. He never fires. He should have fired every military man that was involved with that the Afghanistan horror show, the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. He didn't fire. Did you fire anybody? Did you fire anybody that's on the border that's allowed us to have the worst border in the history of the world? Did anybody get fired for allowing 18 million people, many from prisons, many from mental institutions? Did you fire anybody that allowed our country to be destroyed? Joe, our country is being destroyed as you and I sit up here and waste a lot of time on this debate. This shouldn't be a debate. He is the worst president. He just said about me because I said it. But look, he's the worst president in the history of our country. He's destroyed our country. Now all of a sudden he's trying to get a little tough on the border. He came out with a nothing deal, and it reduced it a little bit, like this much. It's insignificant. He wants open borders. He wants our country to either be destroyed or he wants to pick up those people as voters. And I don't think we just can't let it happen. If he wins this election, our country doesn't have a chance, not even a chance of coming out of this rut. We probably won't have a country left anymore. That's how bad it is. He is the worst in history by far.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden?
We're the most admired country in the world. We're the United States of America. There's nothing about our capacity. We're the finest military in the history of the world. The finest in the history of the world. No one thinks we're weak. No one. wants to screw around with us. Nobody.
One
Number
thing's
one.
worth.
Number two, the idea that we're talking about worst presidents. I wasn't joking. Look it up or go online. 159 or 58, don't hold me the exact number, presidential historians, they've had meetings and they voted who's the worst president in American history, one through best to worst. They said he was the worst in all of American history. That's a fact. That's not conjecture. He can argue they're wrong, but that's what they voted. The idea that he is doing anything to deal with child care. He did virtually nothing to child care. We should significantly increase the child care tax credit. We should significantly increase the availability of women and men or single parents to be able to go back to work.
The tax credit.
And we should encourage businesses
All that
to
includes
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump, the question was about what would you do to make child care more affordable, if you want to take your minute.
Just so you understand, we have polling, we have other things that they rate him the worst because what he's done is so bad. And they rate me, I'll show you, I will show you. And they rate me one of the best, okay? And if I'm given another 4 years, I will be the best. I think I'll be the best. Nobody's ever created an economy like us. Nobody ever cut taxes like us. He's the only one I know. He wants to raise your taxes by 4 times. He wants to raise everybody's taxes by 4 times. He wants the Trump tax cuts to expire. So everybody, including the two of you,
that old dementia look.
5 times. Nobody ever heard of this before. All my life, I'd grow up and I'd see politicians talking about cutting taxes. When we cut taxes, as I said, we did more business. Apple and all these companies, they were bringing money back into our country. The worst president in history by far, and everybody knows it.
President Biden?
Look, the fact of the matter is that he's dead wrong about, he's increased the tariff, he will increase the taxes on middle-class people. I said I'd never raise a tax on anybody making less than $400,000. I did. But this tariff is 10% tariffs. Everything coming in the country, you know what the economists say? That's going to cost the average American $2,500 a year more because they're going to have to pay the difference in food. And all
shit.
More important. Number two, he's in a situation where he talks about how he has not raised, he's somehow helped the middle class. Middle class has been devastated by you. Now you want a new tax cut of $5 trillion over the next 10 years, which is going to fundamentally bankrupt the country. You had the largest deficit of any president.
Not if you stop fucking spending.
Number two, you have not, in fact, made any contact, any progress with China. We are the lowest trade deficit.
You just say about the largest deficit of any president.
Thank you, President Biden. Let's discuss an epidemic impacting millions of Americans that both of you have made a top priority in your first term, the opioid crisis. And for both of you, the number of overdose deaths in this country has gone up. Under your term, it went up. Under your term, it has gone up. Former President Trump, despite the efforts that both of you have made, more than 100,000 Americans are dying from overdoses every year, primarily from fentanyl and other opioids. What will you do to help Americans right now in the throes of addiction who are struggling to get the treatment they need?
To finish up, we now have the largest deficit in the history of our country under this guy. We have the largest deficit with China. He gets paid by China. He's a Manchurian candidate. He gets money from China. So I think he's afraid to deal with them or something. But do you notice he never took out my tariffs because we bring in so much money with the tariffs that I imposed on China. He never took them away. He can't because it's too much money. It's tremendous. And we saved our steel industries and there was more to come, but he hasn't done that. But he hasn't cut the tariffs because he can't, because it's too much money. But he's got the largest deficit in the history of our country, and he's got the worst situation with China. China's going to own us if you keep allowing them to do what they're doing to us as a country. They are killing us as a country, Joe, and you can't let that happen. You're destroying our country.
So, President Trump, you have 67 seconds left. The question was, what are you going to do to help Americans in the throes of addiction right now who are struggling to get the treatment they need?
Jake, we were doing very well at addiction until the COVID came along. We had the 2.5, almost 3 years of like nobody's ever had before, any country, in every way. And then we had to get tough. And it was the drugs pouring across the border it started to increase. We got great equipment. We bought the certain dog. That's the most incredible thing that you've ever seen, the way they can spot it. We did a lot. And we were getting very low numbers, very, very low numbers. Then he came along. The numbers, have you seen the numbers now? It's not only the 18 million people that I believe is even low, because the gotaways, they don't even talk about gotaways, but the numbers of the amount of drugs and human trafficking in women coming across our border, the worst thing I've ever seen, at numbers that nobody's ever seen under him, because the border's so bad. But the number of drugs coming across our border now is the largest we've ever had by far.
President Trump, thank you. President Biden?
Fentanyl and the byproducts of fentanyl went down for a while. And I wanted to make sure we use the machinery that can detect fentanyl, these big machines that roll over everything that comes across the border. And it costs a lot of money. That was part of this deal we put together, this bipartisan deal. More fentanyl machines, more be able to detect drugs, more numbers of.
Oh my God, dude!
More numbers of.
They're talking about X-rays.
The border, and when we had that deal done, he called
they
his
don't detect
Republican
fentanyl.
colleagues, said, "Don't do it. It's going to hurt me politically." No, he never argued it's not a good bill. It's a really good bill. We need those machines. We need those machines. And we're coming down very hard in every country in Asia in terms of precursors for fentanyl. And Mexico is working with us to make sure they don't have the technology to be able to put it together. That's what we have to do. We need those machines.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump, and again, the question is about Americans in the throes of addiction right now, struggling to get the treatment they need.
Well, this does pertain to it. He ended Remain in Mexico. He ended catch and release. I made it catch and release in Mexico, not catch and release here. We had so many things that we had done, hard negotiations with Mexico, and I got it all for nothing. It's just like when you have a hostage. We always pay $6 billion for a hostage. Every time we say it's a hostage. Now we have a hostage, a Wall Street Journal reporter, I think a good guy, and he's over there because Putin is laughing at this guy, probably asking for billions of dollars for the reporter. I will have him out very quickly, as soon as I take office. Before I take office, I said, by literally, as soon as I win the election, I will have that reporter out. He should have had him out a long time ago. But Putin's probably asking for billions and billions of dollars because this guy pays it every time. We had 2 cases where we paid $6 billion for 5 people. I got 58 people out, and I paid essentially nothing.
Thank you, President Trump. Dana?
Let's turn to concerns that voters have about each of you. President Biden, you would be 86 at the end of your second term. How do you address concerns about your capability to handle the toughest job in the world well into your 80s?
Well, first of all, I spent half my career being criticized as being the youngest person in politics. I was the second youngest person ever elected to the United States Senate, and now I'm the oldest. This guy's 3 years younger and a lot less competent. I think that just look at the record. Look at what I've done. Look how I've turned around the horrible situation he left me. As I said, 15 million new jobs, 800,000 manufacturing jobs, more investment in America, over billions of dollars in private investment in enterprises that we are growing. By the way, we brought off a lot of people. The whole idea of computer chips. We used to have 40% of the market. We invented those chips, and we lost it because he was sending people to find the cheapest jobs overseas and to bring home a product. So I went to South Korea. I convinced Samsung to invest billions of dollars here in the United States. And guess what? Those fabs, they call to build these chips, those fabs pay over $100,000. You don't need a college degree for them. And there's billions, about $40 billion already being invested and being built right now in the United States, creating significant jobs for Americans from all over the world.
President Biden, you have 40 seconds left. Would you like to add anything?
Yeah, I would. The idea that somehow we are this failing country. I never heard a president talk like this before. We're the envy of the world. Name me a single major country president who wouldn't trade places with the United States of America for all our problems and all our opportunities. We're the most progressive country in the world in getting things done. We're the strongest country in the world. We're a country in the world who keeps our word, and everybody trusts us, all of our allies, and those who he coddles up to, from Kim Jong-un, he sends love letters to, and Putin, etc. They don't want to screw around with us.
Thank you. Former President Trump, to follow up, you would be 82 at the end of your second term. What do you say to voters who have concerns about your capabilities to serve
Well, I took 2 tests, cognitive tests. I aced them, both of them, as you know. We made it public. He took none. I'd like to see him take one, just one, a real easy one. Like go through the first 5 questions. He couldn't do it. But I took 2 cognitive tests. I took physical exams every year. And, you know, we knock on wood wherever we may have wood, that I'm in very good health. I just won 2 club championships, not even senior, 2 regular club championships. To do that, you have to be quite smart, and you have to be able to hit the ball a long way, and I do it. He doesn't do it. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. He challenged me to a golf match. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. I think I'm in very good shape. I feel that I'm as in good a shape as I was 25, 30 years ago. Actually, I'm probably a little bit lighter, but I'm in as good a shape as I was years ago. I feel very good. I feel the same. But I was willing to take a cognitive test, and you know what? If I didn't do well, I aced them. Dr. Ronnie Jackson, who's a great guy when he was White House doctor. And then I took another one, a similar one. And one of them said they've never seen anybody ace him.
Thank you. President Biden?
You can see he is 6'5" and only 223 pounds, or 235 pounds. Well, you said 6'4", 200. Well, anyway, that's what anyway. Just take a look at what he says he is, and take a look at what he is. Look, I'd be happy to have a driving contest with him. The reason I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6. And
are these motherfuckers talking about golf right now?
That nigga said he got his handicap down to a 6, nigga.
You can do it.
That's the biggest.
What are we doing
here?
Handicap
of all.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
8. Never. But I have, you know, how many
my God! Can you get these old fucks off the stage?
Okay, let's
not act like children.
President Trump, we're going to turn.
Let's not act like children.
These are y'all
The
presidents.
specific concern that voters have about you. Will you pledge tonight that once all legal challenges have been exhausted, that you will accept the results of this election, regardless of who wins, and you will say right now that political violence in any form is unacceptable?
Well, I shouldn't have to say that, but of course I believe that. It's totally unacceptable. And if you would see my statements that I made on Twitter at the time, and also my statement that I made in the Rose Garden, you would say it's one of the strongest statements you've ever seen. In addition to the speech I made in front of, I believe, the largest crowd I've ever spoken to. And I will tell you, nobody ever talks about that. They talk about a relatively small number of people that went to the Capitol, and in many cases were ushered in by the police. And as Nancy Pelosi said, it was her responsibility, not mine. She said that loud and clear.
That's a fact.
But the answer is, if the election is fair, free, and I want that more than anybody. And I'll tell you something. I wish he was a great president, because I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be at one of my many places enjoying myself. I wouldn't be under indictment, because I wouldn't have been his political opponent, because he indicted me because I was his opponent. I wish he was a great president. I would rather have that. I wouldn't be here. I don't mind being here. But the only reason I'm here is he's so bad as a president that I'm going to make America great again. We're going to make America great again. We're a failing nation right now. We're a seriously failing nation. And we're a failing nation because of him. His policies are so bad. His military policies are insane. They're insane. These are wars that will never end with him. He will drive us into World War III, and we're closer to World War III than anybody can imagine. We are very, very close to World War III, and he's driving us there. And Kim Jong-un and President Xi of China, Kim Jong-un of North Korea, all of these, Putin, they don't respect him. They don't fear him. They have nothing going with this gentleman, and he's going to drive us into World War III.
You want a World War III, let him follow and win, and let Putin say, do what you want, NATO. Just do what you want. There's a thing called Article 5. An attack on one is attack on all, and required response. The idea, I can't think of a single major leader in the world who wouldn't trade places with the job I've done and what they've done. Because we're a powerful nation. We have wonderful peace because of the people, not me.
So is Biden saying he wouldn't honor Article 5?
And right now, we're needed to protect the world because our own safety is at stake. And again, you want to have a war, just let Putin go ahead and take Kyiv, make sure they
motherfucking Ukraine is not in the motherfucking
other places along that border. Then you have a war.
President Trump, as I come back to you for a follow-up, the question was, will you accept the results of this election, regardless of who wins.
Just to finish what he said, if I might.
There you go.
Russia.
Don't answer that.
They took a lot of land from Bush. They took a lot of land from Obama and Biden. They took no land, nothing from Trump, nothing. He knew not to do it. He's not going to play games with me. He knew that. I got along with him very well, but he knew not to play games. He took nothing from me. But now he's going to take the whole thing from this man right here. That's a war that should have never started. It would have never started ever with me. And he's going to take Ukraine. And, you know, you asked me a question before, would you do this? He's got us in such a bad position right now with Ukraine and Russia, because Ukraine's not winning that war. He said, I will never settle until such time. They're running out of people. They're running out of soldiers. They've lost so many people. It's so sad. They've lost so many people, and they've lost those gorgeous cities with the golden domes that are 1,000 years old, all because of him and stupid decisions. Russia would have never attacked if I were
President Trump,
president.
the question was, will you accept the results of the election, regardless of who wins? Yes or no, please.
If it's a fair and legal and good election, absolutely. I would have much rather accepted these, but the fraud and everything else was ridiculous. And if you want, we'll have a news conference on it in a week, or we'll have another one of these in a week. But I will absolutely, there's nothing I'd rather do. It would be much easier for me to do that than I'm running again. I wasn't really going to run until I saw the horrible job he did. He's destroying our country. I would be very happy to be someplace else, in a nice location someplace. And again, no indictments, no political opponent stuff, because it's the only way he thinks he can win. But unfortunately, it's driven up my numbers and driven them up to a very high level because the people understand it.
Well, let's see what your numbers are when this election is over. Let's see. You're a whiner. When you lost the first time, you continued, you appealed and appealed to courts all across the country. Not one single court in America said any of your claims had any merit, state or local, none. But you continue to provoke.
They actually said they didn't have standing.
About somehow
That's
there's
different.
all this misrepresentation, all this stealing. There is no evidence of that at all. And I tell you what, I doubt whether you'll accept it because you're such a whiner. The idea, if you lose again, you accepting anything, you can't stand the loss. Something snapped in you when you lost the last time.
We'll be right back with more from the CNN presidential debate, live from Georgia.
All right. Come on.
This is sad.
Is it sad?
Yeah, this is sad.
Hey, I'm gonna say it like this. The funny thing is Trump not answering questions.
Well, that's probably the smartest thing he ever did.
Yeah.
Because they some dumbass questions. Like,
yeah.
I mean, would you accept what does that have to do with right now people suffering? Like, that's just stupid.
Well, the simple fact is he answered it.
And he did answer it several times, but they didn't accept that answer.
Yeah.
As they should. And they should hold that motherfucker accountable for the words he says.
Oh my God.
Whatever that is. I may not know what that is, but they should hold him accountable. I'm with him.
So you think he's gonna make it for the election, honestly?
Absolutely. He made it this far. Why can't he make it no further?
Hey, Tom, we're not truthful over here in America, sir. We don't keep our word.
Fuck no, we don't keep our word.
Oh, so let me ask you a question. Is America nigga?
Hell, I knew he was gonna go there.
No, sir, because keeping your word has no color on it, sir. Thank you. Try again.
You said that's what niggas do. Okay. Well,
I didn't say that's what niggas do. Don't put words in my mouth. I know what you're trying to do, but you ain't got it. You ain't got the juice, nigga. The juice ain't worth the squeeze, nigga.
Oh, I didn't already squeeze it. I got all the juice I can get from you.
No, you didn't.
3 pours full. Let me go and get the rest of the cup. Hey, I heard both of them claim each other was going to get rid of Medicaid. Which one of them was getting rid of Medicaid and Medicare?
Neither one.
They both said, "Oh, okay."
It's just gonna run out of money like they always do. Both of them are doing the same thing that they always do, which is
if this doesn't happen, this is gonna happen. If this doesn't happen, this gonna. Well, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen when the money run out and we go bankrupt. That's when shit will change. Until then.
So why they lie on each other like that?
Because that's the way politicians do.
This motherfucker say fuh.
He did. He did that shit like 17 times. Nigga.
That's oh my god. What the comments say right now on CNN? Can you see them?
Well, we're on MSNBC, so that's even better.
Yeah, you can't get more left than that.
Let's see. Oh, they have the comments turned off too. MSNBC has the comments turned off. Yeah, there's no comments. Yeah. Nope, we don't have any.
That's real convenient. Why would you have the comments turned off during the debate when nobody can ask questions?
My car alarm's going off. Oh.
It's back on time.
No, I don't want to hear that. I hate Lester Holt. He's a fucking idiot.
Did this motherfucker got a slick back?
Yes.
Potential race over the next 5 months. Back to Atlanta now.
Candidates to deliver their closing statements as predetermined by a coin toss. We're going to begin with you, President Biden. You have 2 minutes.
We've made significant progress from the debacle that was left by President Trump in his last term. We find ourselves in a situation where, number one, we have to make sure that we have a fair tax system. I ask anyone out there in the audience or anyone out watching this debate, do you think the tax system is fair? The fact is that I said nobody even making under $400,000 had a single penny increase in their taxes, and will not.
Bullshit.
And if I'm reelected, that'll be the case again. But this guy has increased your taxes because of the deficit. Number one, he's increased inflation because of the debacle he left after the way he handled the pandemic. And he finds himself in a position where he now wants to tax you more by putting a 10% tariff on everything that comes into the United States of America. What I did when, for example, he wants to get rid of the ability of Medicare to
put a 100% tariff on
us to be able to negotiate drug prices with the big pharma companies. Well, guess what? We got it down to $35.
Oh, he did
Instead of $400, no more than $2,000 for every senior, no matter how much prescriptions they need. You know what that did? That reduced the federal debt by $160 billion over 10 years because the government doesn't have to pay the exorbitant prices. I'm going to make that available to every senior all along. It's happening now, and everybody in America.
Even the rich ones?
I'm going to make sure that we have child care. We're going to significantly increase the credits people have for child care. I'm going to make sure we do something about what we're doing on lead pipes and all the things that are causing health problems for people across the country. We're going to continue to fight to bring down inflation and give people a break.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump, you now have 2 minutes for your closing statement.
Like so many politicians, this man is just a complainer. He said, we want to do this, we want to do that, we want to get rid of this tax, that tax. But he doesn't do anything. All he does is make our country unsafe by allowing millions and millions of people to pour in. Our military doesn't respect him. We look like fools in Afghanistan. We didn't stop Israel. It was such a horrible thing that would have never happened. It should have never happened. Iran was broke. Anybody that did business with Iran, including China, they couldn't do business with the United States. They all passed. Iran was broke. They had no money for Hamas or Hezbollah, for terror, no money whatsoever. Again, Ukraine should have never happened. He talks about all this stuff, but he didn't do it. For 3.5 years, we're living in hell. We have the Palestinians and we have everybody else rioting all over the place. You talk about Charlottesville. This is 100 times Charlottesville, 1,000 times. The whole country is exploding because of you, because they don't respect you, and they have to respect their president, and they don't respect you throughout the world. What we did was incredible. We rebuilt the military. We got the largest tax cut in history, the largest regulation cut in history. The reason he's got jobs is because I cut the regulations that gave jobs, but he's putting a lot of those regulations back on. all of the things that we've done, nobody's never seen anything like, even from a medical standpoint, right to try, where we can try space age materials instead of going to Asia or going to Europe and trying to get when you're terminally ill. Now you can go and you can get something. You sign a document. They've been trying to get it for 42 years. But you know what we did for the military was incredible. Choice for our soldiers, where our soldiers, instead of waiting for 3 months to see a doctor, can go out and get themselves fixed up and readied up and take care of themselves, and they're living. And that's why I had the highest approval rating in the history of the VA. So all of these things, we're in a failing nation, but it's not going to be failing anymore. We're going to make it great again.
Thank you, former President Trump, President Biden. Stay with us because we have full analysis of this debate. Anderson Cooper and Aaron Burnett starts now on CNN.
Why are they staying with y'all?
So we've been watching the wrap-up there of the debate. Former President Trump making his closing statement, wrapping up the first presidential debate hosted by CNN, with Mr. Trump facing off against President Biden.
The two men debated for about an hour and 40 minutes or so and clashed repeatedly on the major topics of the day, including economy, abortion, immigration, childcare, Social Security, and of course, the key issue, the competence of both men, both one of the oldest presidents.
Yeah, no one gives a shit. I guess that was it. Oh,
sir, I have a question.
In history, if elected.
Will Van Jones cry tonight?
Most likely. We'll let them continue talking. We'll keep it up here. We'll watch it.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what they got to say. Like, if they're going to honestly say Joe Biden was competent. Let's see how dishonest they are.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's listen.
They was talking mad shit before.
Yeah, let's see how dishonest they are.
An opening as the night progressed. He did begin to pick up steam. He had some really strong moments on the issues of what his administration, for example, has done for veterans. But zooming out, this was a debate about performance. This was a debate about allaying Americans' concerns about his ability to serve another 4 years. And I and a number of reporters at NBC News have heard from a range of Democrats who have said that they are concerned by tonight's debate. One telling me of this race, quote, "This is effectively over." This person predicting, look, Democrats are still going to stand by Biden, despite the fact that you do have some Democrats tonight wondering if that will be the case moving forward. But there has been some tough language that people have been reaching out to offer in terms of the performance that they saw tonight from President Biden. It is also important to note, former President Trump unleashed a torrent at times of misinformation, some of which President Biden fact-checked, some of which went unanswered. You have to wonder if the format of this debate, the fact that the mics were muted, may have played a role in this. But again, a slow start to this debate for President Biden. He did pick up steam. We'll have to see how people play it.
Let's go to Hallie Jackson, who's in the spin room down in Atlanta. And I mean, here's a race that in some ways was essentially tied, perhaps, Donald Trump in the most of the national polls and swing state polls going into it had a lead in most of them. The Biden campaign wanted and needed a compelling performance from their candidate. Did they get it?
If a voter, Savannah, was tuning in, looking to see about concerns being alleviated about President Biden's age or strength or capability for office, it is not at all clear that that is what they got from this performance by President Biden tonight, which was shaky. It was a shaky start, wooden at times, meandering at times. I will tell you that in about the back half of the debate, maybe the latter third of the debate, I heard from a Democratic lawmaker, a member of Congress who has been a strong supporter of President Biden's, who suggested the possibility, Savannah, of perhaps an open convention or replacing President Biden on the ticket. I will tell you, it is all but potentially impossible for that to actually happen. But the fact that that is even being raised, the fact that that is even a shadow now hanging over the debate performance for President Biden is at minimum a headache for the Biden campaign moving into the next stretch of this campaign ahead of the Republican convention in the next couple of weeks, and at worst, potentially something that will dog them now for months, given what we have seen from voters in polling consistently, which is, yes, concern about President Biden's age. Now, all of that said, I'm in the spin room, and they call it the spin room for a reason, Savannah. It is because you have surrogates here for both campaigns, and of course the Biden campaign out here trying to make the case that their candidates did well. And I will tell you what some of the early spin is now from Team Biden, suggesting that former President Trump's answer, for example, on January 6th, was not a good one, that people are turned off by his insults, by his attacks on President Biden here. But remember the sort of social economy that we're in right now, Savannah and Lester, this idea that these sort of shareable moments are what people tend to see. If they're not watching tonight, then perhaps the next day or the day after. And there are some moments here that the Biden campaign is going to find tough to swallow based on the president's performance tonight.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the spin room and surrogates, we want to do that right now and go to Biden campaign national co-chair, former Mayor Mitch Landrieu. And Mr. Mayor, I mean, let's just put a fine point on it. Was this the commanding performance from your candidate you hope to see?
Well, I thought it was a really bare knuckles brawl. I think they're right. The president started off slow, but then he came back. But the most compelling thing about tonight that you were right about more than you're right about anything else is that when Donald Trump was speaking, he was lying. And the fact that there was no fact checking is incredible. It's really hard to debate somebody who is untethered from the truth. He doubled down on the fact that January 6th really wasn't a big deal. He doubled down on the fact that he thought those folks were patriots. He doubled down on the fact that he was an election denier. He doubled down on the fact that he thought reversing Roe versus Wade was a great idea. He doubled down on the fact that the economy was the best in the world when in fact it was not. And so these debates have a way of forcing over time. But before tomorrow morning, when you fact check what was said, you are going to find out that almost everything that Donald Trump said tonight was a fabricated lie. And the fact
will that be the
fact check him in time is difficult.
But Mr. Mayor, will that be the conversation, or will the conversation be about the physical performance?
I think because of the way people analyze debates, it's going to be at first about the physical performance. But when you get into the substance of what was said, I think the takeaway from this was that Joe Biden was right on the substance. He told the truth. He has a better record. America is stronger. People respect us more. The economy is better. And Donald Trump, literally, to every question that was asked of him, he did not tell the truth. It was like he was living in another universe. But if you can't check somebody and somebody isn't ashamed of not telling the truth, it is a very difficult situation. And I thought you saw that in real time tonight. But what you also did see was let me finish, with President Biden actually fighting for the people that really he believes in, and Donald Trump becoming obsessed again with himself and almost being unhinged in some moments.
Mr. Mayor, you talk about fact checks. One of the key issues in this campaign, and the polls show it over and over again, a core issue for voters is whether or not President Biden has the competence and ability to complete a second term. So the fact check is before their eyes. They're able to assess it. Was the President Biden that you saw tonight the individual you know? So if people assess based on what they saw tonight that this is the president who will serve another 4 years, are you comfortable with that assessment based on what you saw tonight?
Absolutely.
I am. I served with President Biden for 2 years. I was with him on a regular basis, and I've seen him recently. I think that he's fine. I think he had a cold tonight. I think he looked a little sluggish when he came out, but as the night went on, I think he really kind of rose to the occasion. It's going to be a very, very difficult night. It was a bare knuckles brawl, but I'm proud of the fact that he stood up to Donald Trump and the mistruths that he told, and he tried to lay his plan out for the American people.
All right, Mitch Landrieu, Biden campaign co-chair, thank you so much. We want to turn now to our
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Our senior national correspondent, Tom Yamas, is on the floor of the spin room. Tom, what are you hearing?
Hey, Savannah, good to be with you tonight. So listen, campaigns, elections, they are all about strategies. The Biden campaign strategy in the spin room is a little odd right now. All these people are waiting for any Democratic strategist to come out. Anyone from the Biden campaign, anybody who supports Joe Biden to come out here and defend his performance. Right now, you can see there are not a lot of people here. To be fair, they have chosen a different space from what we understand. They're going to have surrogates there as well. But if I turn the camera around the spin room, all these people here, these people are talking to Trump supporters. These are Trump surrogates that are out here, right? People like Vivek Ramaswamy, people like Representative Stefanik. We saw Senator Rubio enter the room as well. Essentially, the point I'm trying to make is that the Trump team is out here on the offense. They're out here saying basically that President Biden had a very bad debate, that President Trump, obviously the candidate they're supporting, had a much better debate, and that the decision now is clear, right? That if the American viewers, the voters saw the performance from President Biden, the choice is clear. Again, I'm sure in
the real question
come,
is
President Biden will be out. Somebody from his team will come out here and defend the president's performance. But right now, again, listen, all these reporters, and there's dozens of them, are waiting for anyone to come out right now from the Biden campaign. And listen, this is the spin room. So even though they have a different room that they wanted to put their people in, as far as strategy goes, as far as where the reporters are, this is where everyone is right now. And again, all these piles of people you see here, all these reporters, these cameras, they're surrounding Trump surrogates. You can see the signs up there, right? Senator Tim Scott. Let's walk over. Vivek Ramaswamy's over here. Senator Marco Rubio's over here. Let's go see if we can get Senator Rubio real quick to see what he says. We're going to send it back to you guys in the studio as we give you a live shot of Senator Rubio, and we'll stay out here in the spin room floor.
All right, very good, Tom. Thank you. Joining us now from the debate spin room is North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum. Governor, good evening. Thank you for being with us.
That's who I wanted to win. Eyebrows.
Lester, great to be with you. We heard from the surrogate for the Biden campaign that President Trump, in their view, flooded the zone with untruths, half-truths. What's your reaction to that?
Well, I think my reaction is that President Trump had a very strong performance that I think America saw. If they saw the challenges that Joe Biden had just delivering a message, and he didn't have an answer on inflation, he didn't have an answer on the border, and I think that's what the Americans I talk to, Republicans, independents, Democrats, those are the two things that are affecting them most. The border isn't about immigration; it's about national security and public safety, and we didn't hear answers to that. And I think me as a business guy listening to it, it's clear that Joe Biden's got a 50-year-long philosophy, which is essentially anti-business. Right now, of course, America's economy buried in regulation. He wants to raise taxes, and every solution is higher taxes and more spending. And so I think that people didn't see anything new. There was no vision there, and people know that they were better off under President Trump. And so I think tonight, big win for President Trump.
And Governor, on style points, the fact that there was no audience, do you think that in the end helped the former president?
No. Well, I think that President Trump showed what he shows a lot of people, which is whether he's in small groups or whether he's at fundraisers. I mean, he's right now, he's in a great spot. He's calm, he's strong, he's confident. I mean, this is not the guy that was running in 2016. He knows what it's like to be president. He's done it before. He's surrounded himself by a great campaign team. And I think he's very confident about how he's going forward. I think that showed in his performance tonight.
Governor, can I ask you something? A lot of folks are just tuning in, really paying attention. They're not political junkies like you or I may be, and they're just tuning in right now. And one of the last things they remember, of course, is January 6th, the president losing the election.
No, it's not.
But claiming he didn't, people rioting at the Capitol. Here he was again tonight, asked point blank, if you lose the election, will you concede? And he just doesn't answer the question directly. He's always hedging it with if it's free and fair. And of course, the implication is it's not free and fair if he's not the winner. Why doesn't he just come right out and say, of course, I'll accept the results of this election?
That's not what he said, yeah.
That's not what he said at all.
Well, I think you heard him say that at the end. It would be easier for him if everybody thought we had secure elections, but we know in our country, being a democracy, this is a challenge.
Yeah, but that's kind of that's just a red herring, because I mean, he got to litigate it. He had the advantages of our democracy and our courts and every other institution, which found that it was a free and fair election, and yet he's still on about that. And he won't say that he'll accept the results of this election. I just don't get that.
Fuck out of here. You sound stupid.
Well, I think for any of us that were around, and I was also part of that 2020 election, we had a free and fair election in North Dakota. We've got election security there, but we had so many rule changes in 2020 with COVID. We had record number of mail out, not mail in ballots, but mailing out, flooding the zone with all these ballots to non-updated voter files, unmonitored drop boxes. I mean, you can verify that this is the number of ballots that got counted, but I'm a guy that spent my life in tech and in business processes. And when you've got unmonitored documents that don't have any control over the path of that document, you don't know where it came from, you don't know where it's been, that would never pass any kind of audit from a quarterly audit from a public company. So I think we all want the same thing. And if America, whether it's the 2000 election, which was challenged down in one county in Florida, the 2016 election, which people claimed there's Russian interference, the 2020 election. I mean, 3 of our last 5 elections, either of the different parties have been saying there was concerns. It would be fantastic.
We can't let you get out of here without asking you a question about the VP selection process. What are you hearing? Obviously, your name is one of the top 3.
Yeah. Well, have you been asked to be VP? Because the former president says his VP was there tonight. You're there. Marco Rubio's there. JD Vance is there. Have you been asked to be VP?
I'll answer.
There's so much talent in the Republican Party here tonight. I think the real question has got to be on the Democrat side. I'm sure that's the question right now is the choice that Joe Biden made 4 years ago.
Do you expect?
What are they doing going forward?
Do you
Who are you
expect
going to
to
replace
know
Biden
who his
with?
vice presidential pick is this week? Keeping in mind it's Thursday night.
Again, tonight is about President Trump's big victory, and he'll make that decision.
Have you been asked?
He'll make a good one. He'll make it at the time of his choosing.
Have you been asked?
Just answer the question, you dumb.
There's only one person to know who's the next VP is, and that is President Trump.
Kind of knew how that question would go, Governor.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think that's
so
a
much.
no. He hasn't been asked. All right,
you.
Governor, thank you.
NBC's Gotti Schwartz has been watching the debate with voters known as double haters in Phoenix. Those are voters who don't like either candidate. Gotti, what are you hearing?
Hey, Lester, yeah, we started off the night talking about double haters. As that debate went on, double hate, it's probably not the word that this panel would use to describe their feelings on one or possibly both candidates. I mean, we were just talking about it. How would you describe this? Double what?
Double frustrated.
Double frustrated. How about you?
Double cringe.
Double cringe. And I was watching you as you were watching this debate. I saw a lot of cringing. I saw a lot of anger at sometimes. If there was one moment that stuck out to you, what would it be for you?
The moment when they started to go back and forth about golfing.
Golfing. Towards the
that
end.
wasn't a good look.
They had to do with the question that the moderator asked. And they just kept going back and forth. And it was just like, is this real? Like, it just felt really weird to see them going back and forth like that.
And Denise, how about you? What was a moment that stuck out to you?
Well, first, if I could just finish, he did that. He did this a lot. I would like to say we are not in one of Donald Trump's many properties. We are in heat-filled Phoenix, Arizona, where we are suffering from climate change. So to say that there's no problem with our climate is yet another lie, because there were so many lies told today. But a cringe moment was just, I felt like they were in first grade, second grade. It was, nothing is Donald Trump's fault. It's all the Democratic judges that Biden put into office. Nothing is Joe Biden's fault
literally didn't
either.
mention
It's
anything
all,
about any judges.
I had to
that
clean
Biden
up
put
your
in
mess.
office.
So figure it out, boys, because you're both wrong. And Nicole, when it comes to, I mean, I saw you cringing a few times during Biden's speaking. What were your thoughts when you were watching that?
I mean, he just really struggles to get out of coherent thoughts. And then he gets sidetracked and he can't get back onto the conversation. It's really challenging.
You ain't been to a dentist in goddamn 30 years.
And this is one of those debate watch parties where three of you said that you wouldn't have made it past maybe 3 or 4 questions. You would have turned it off. Very insightful coming from Phoenix, Arizona.
People still sorting out their feelings about what they saw tonight. Gotti, thanks. We have much more
just show up
coverage
at
of the
3
first
random people's
presidential
house?
debate right after
They had them staged at one person's house. Well, one person.
Did they pay for that?
Yes.
Oh yeah, cut me a check.
Airbnb the motherfuckers there. Oh, that bitch is dentally retired. That's fat, retarded. Yes, he is.
I'm gonna have to do it.
Because that looked like a good cross section of America to me right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a show on this tomorrow.
Yeah.
What is weird is, you know what? I'm telling you from the get go. If we looked at the fucking Republican debates, I said it from the get go. I like Bergen from the get go. The motherfucker just knows how to answer a goddamn question on the spot. Eyebrows has always been good at that. That's why I called him Eyebrows in there. He's actually pretty good. I like him. If it was between him and Vivek Ramaswamy, I'd have picked Eyebrows every time. But that's just me. What's his name? Bergam? Yeah, Bergam.
This commercial they got playing, bro, is hella racist. Yeah. Michael Jackson been dead for a little minute. Did y'all just see that nigga over there with the flag, fam? Did you just I was the only person that caught that. Oh, okay. That ain't right. He was down with the team, but not that he was doing bad stuff. Not good. What's going on?
What did he do bad, sir? What did he do? I think they're done with this shit.
I think they said he did something.
I wanted to hear
from.
No, CNN's gonna have their Van Jones panel back on there.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, let's continue. Ain't watching it.
I just wanted to hear how, like, if they were going to literally lie and say this dude did good. Which I got to give.
They're still in the back trying to figure out what to say.
I'm talking about CNN panel. I'm talking about CNN people. Like, I was curious to see, but I got to give him like a little tiny bit of credit because they ain't kissing his ass right now.
That's because they can't. And nigga did shitty.
In our final moments to meet the press moderator, Kristen Welker. There's supposed to be a second debate in September. Question whether it will happen. Also, perhaps a lot of soul searching in the Democratic Party tonight based on your sources.
There's no doubt about that. Sources have reached out to say exactly that there are discussions about what happens next. The wisdom of holding this debate early, remember, was to shake up this race going into tonight. President Biden trailing within the margin of error nationally and also in key battleground states. The Biden campaign wanted people to start paying attention to turn this race around. And again, the hope was that he would deliver a commanding performance. So here they are now going into the convention, a time when it is summer, when people will undoubtedly start to tune out again. So the impact of this remains unknown, but still a lot of time between now and the convention for Democrats to move.
So, and that leads to the question, will this moment be frozen in time? Because you do have folks living on July 4th holiday now. You've got Olympics coming up. I mean, we're in that part of the year where people's attention is beginning to be divided in many ways. Is that something that Democrats and Biden folks are holding now for hope?
Absolutely. It could be frozen in time. And I think this goes to the disparity of the lawmaker who I heard from saying this is effectively over, some even starting to question what happens moving
Kristen,
forward.
thank you.
Much to discuss. That concludes our special coverage of the first presidential debate. Don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere.
We've got Tom Yamas leads continuing coverage on our streaming network, NBC News Now.
And we'll have a full wrap-up tomorrow morning on Today with Savannah Guthrie and company.
That's right.
No.
And Lester will be there for Nightly News tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Good night.
Good night.
This is NBC News special coverage of the first presidential debate. A historic face-off.
The only person on this stage is a convicted felon is the man I'm looking at right now.
When he talks about a convicted felon, his son is a convicted felon at a very high.
All right.
Convicted felon, his son is a convicted felon at a very high level.
A president and former president debating for the first time in history.
The whole world is blowing up under him.
Never heard so much malarkey in my whole life.
He's going to drive us into World War III.
You want a World War III? Let him follow and win.
President Biden making his case for 4 more years.
We're going to continue to fight to bring down inflation and give people a break.
Former President Trump fighting to win the White House back.
We're a failing nation, but it's not going to be failing anymore. We're going to make it great again.
In the biggest event yet of the 2024 election.
He caused this inflation. I gave him a country with essentially no inflation.
There was no inflation when I became president. You know why? The economy was flat on its back.
If he wins this election, our country doesn't have a chance, not even a chance of coming out of this rut.
We're the most admired country in the world. The United States of America. There's nothing beyond our capacity.
And we keep our word,
tonight
Tom.
From the spin room at the first presidential debate in Atlanta. Here's Tom Yamas.
And good evening. Thank you for staying up with us after that fiery first presidential debate. We are in the spin room right now, live in Atlanta, post-debate, surrounded by supporters and insiders from both campaigns. I actually want to go down to the spin room floor right now because something interesting has happened. Over the last 30 minutes, right, the Biden-Harris campaign has finally come out to the spin room. They're finally answering questions. It took them a while. Usually in these situations, right after the debate, your campaign team comes out and they have a unified message, right? My candidate won, here's X, Y, and Z. What we saw right after this debate was Team Trump had surrogates all over the place coming out to the spin room floor, essentially attacking President Biden, attacking his mental fitness, attacking pretty much everything he said during the debate. And it took about 30 minutes for the Biden-Harris team to finally come out here. Now we have Senator Warnock, now we have Governor Gavin Newsom, and we have other Biden-Harris spokespeople. I do want to point that out because I think that was an important point coming out of this debate right after. Yeah, going back to what we saw, right? After President Biden and former President Trump battled it out there on the debate floor, for this election cycle, Well, over those 90 minutes, the two candidates were trading blows over each other's policies and personalities, both accusing the other of being the worst president in history and taking the U.S. economy, an issue at the top of mind for voters, and tanking it. Both blamed each other for that. Former President Trump repeatedly slamming President Biden for what he calls a crisis at the southern border. He also criticized Biden's handling of the wars in both Gaza and Ukraine. But one of the worst moments for Biden tonight when he lost track of what he was saying in the middle of an answer about Medicare.
Making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with.
Nigga Trump ain't shit.
Look at Trump. Look at Trump.
He ain't shit.
We finally beat Medicare.
What? Why are we watching a replay of a sorry debate?
To respond to those questions.
And I'm going to
John, don't say that. You're going to hurt people's feelings, man. This is awesome.
On the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more border
debate
patrol
was trash.
and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
Now, two sources telling NBC News President Biden has a cold. You could clearly hear that during his debate performance, especially when he started. Biden did get his own daggers in, including the moment he brought up Trump's criminal conviction.
Emilio, you got a head cold.
How many billions of dollars do you owe in civil penalties?
You got a head full of honey.
For molesting a woman in public, for doing a whole range of things, of having sex with a porn star on the night while your wife was pregnant.
I didn't have sex with a porn star.
All right, we want to go to some live pictures right now. We understand we have President Biden has gone to a watch party here in Atlanta post-debate. Let's listen in.
Nobody's close. Well, let's keep going. See you at the next one. God love you all. Heading to North Carolina. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to go home with you.
What?
Thank you.
Okay.
What? Yeah, you heard what he said.
Motherfucker doesn't even know which way to go.
You can put that nigga in your pocket, nigga. Take him home with you, Tom.
Post-debate watch party.
Feed that nigga, Tom.
Crowd there. I want to get right over
home with you. Make that nigga sandwich. He said he's going home with you.
Chuck Todd. Chuck, this was quite the debate for a variety of reasons.
It
was a debate unlike any other we've seen. I want to get your analysis immediately right after this debate and what it means.
Look, we began this conversation before this debate. You know, one of the things was, would either candidate look like the caricature that the other campaign has been trying to paint of him? And at the end of the day, Joe Biden looks like the caricature that conservative media has been painting. And there were no clips tonight, right? This was, you saw it before your eyes. Look, I don't want to just tell you what I think here, Tom. I've been talking to a lot of leaders in the Democratic Party, electeds, coalition leaders. There's a full-on panic about this performance. Not like, oh, this is recoverable. It is more of a,
he's got
to step aside. There's a lot of that chatter. This is about as bad of a performance in order to that Biden could have delivered if his goal was to try to sort of calm the waters among Democrats. I mean, look, there was a poll just out earlier this week that showed, you know, a lot of Democrats, it's not just elected Democrats, rank and file Democrats,
they're actually playing
are both
his
supportive of Biden, but think
up.
he should not be seeking a second term. I have a feeling we're going to see more polling on this, and we're going to see that number even higher. But the panic level, particularly among elected Democrats who have to share the ballot with him, there's a full-on panic tonight. Maybe they'll get calmed down in the morning, but there's going to be there's a lot of chatter among donors tonight, a lot of chatter among major elected leaders tonight. Again, if the Biden campaign needs, they have a lot of calming.
I think they calling this shit out, and they showing it.
They may see this get momentum publicly, and I don't know if they can stop it.
They know that you see it.
Well, Chuck, and I want to ask you about that because if you open up any news website right now and you see the headlines are exactly what you're talking about tonight. So if you're a Democratic voter, if you're somebody who's going to vote for this party, and now you're confused because you hear your party leaders are concerned as well, walk our viewers through what potentially could or could not happen. I mean, is he going to run no matter what? Is this conversation too early to have? And is there a process in place where Democrats can get together? And if he's not their guy, is there enough time to find somebody else?
Well, look, I mean, this was always one of the interesting timing of this debate was always that, oh, this is intriguing. The Biden campaign wants a debate before you pass the last exit for gas, meaning before the Democratic convention. If Joe Biden decides he does not want to seek this nomination, he can release all his delegates. And then it basically becomes an open convention. And we haven't had a real open convention really since 1952. So, and that becomes a whole, you probably have the vice president, you might have a couple of governors, you might have the home state governor in Illinois, who's the host of the convention, wanting to follow in the footsteps of an Illinois governor in 1952, who was able to gather that nomination in Adlai Stevenson when the convention decided to hand it to him. But it all begins with Joe Biden would have to agree to do this. And you don't walk away from these things. They're going to fight. I mean, you feel a little bit of the fight tonight. They're trying to say, look, he was thrown off a little bit at the beginning. I don't know how you're thrown off, that you're surprised that inflation is the first question, but that's their excuse.
Chuck,
maybe that'll be enough to calm the waters. I don't buy it. And I'll tell you this, Tom, I think there are two public Democrats to be watching for and to see if they say anything. Because I think there are two Democrats who, if they went public with this, I don't know if Joe Biden could stop the freight train. One would be Nancy Pelosi and the other would be Barack Obama. And I think those are the two most influential Democrats right now in this process, in this party, and where this could end up going.
I disagree. Chuck, it's interesting you say that because the two of them have been some of his biggest supporters to date, right? And you're right, his strongest voices to date. I do want to ask you something. Do you think it was a bit of political malpractice by his staff to announce midway into the debate that he had a cold and not let people know that early on so they could have lowered the bar so people could have been ready for what we saw of Joe Biden in the beginning?
Dude,
and again, it could be spin, it could not be true, but listen, this is what we're hearing from the Biden campaign.
Well, I mean, put yourself in their shoes. Do you say it in advance? He's got a cold, and then it looks like you're really trying to lower the bar, right? I don't think there's any good answer there. But look, that was, among the feedback I got from one elected official who said, that's his performance after 5 days at Camp David. That's after rest. So I do think, frankly, the campaign had to come out with some explanation because I guess the cold is what they got to hang their hat on.
Man, get the fuck out of here.
Chuck, we thank you for that analysis. I want to get over to Steve Kornacki. Steve, you run the numbers for us, but you also have great political insight. Where could a performance like this for President Biden hurt him the most, right? With what voters? Which voters are concerned about his age?
Well, look at it this way, just in terms of the numbers. There was a poll that came out just 24 hours before this debate from the New York Times and Siena. And they asked the question this way when it came to age. They said, with each candidate, is age such an issue, in your view, that the candidate is incapable of handling the job of being president? That question was asked, and 45% of voters in that poll said that Biden's age, this is before the debate, was such that he could not handle the presidency. The number for Trump was only 16%. So coming into this debate by a 3-to-1 margin, that's what the concern level was when it came to Joe Biden, his age, and the presidency. So the first question, obviously, is it's going to take a few days here, probably about a week or so, to get some really good poll numbers in response to this. But does that number radically increase as a result of this? Because it's been one of the features of this campaign has been that Biden and Trump are only 4 years apart in age, but there has been this tremendous gap when it comes to concern about their age. The opportunity that Biden had tonight, obviously, was to allay those fears. You get 90 minutes, one-on-one, virtually uninterrupted. But the flip side of that was a poor performance. Would those fears be exacerbated? And then the bigger question certainly becomes, and it connects, obviously, with this discussion that's now suddenly taking place in public, on the airwaves all over the place about Biden and, are we sure he's going to be the Democratic nominee, or would the party turn to somebody else? Would he agree for the party to turn to somebody else? And I think, again, let's see in a week what the polling shows, because the reaction right now, obviously, is everything you're hearing. Does the polling match that?
All right, Steve Kornacki for us. I want to get over to the moderator of Meet the Press, Kristen Welker. Kristen, you kind of put it in a way, I'd almost say perfectly, the way coming out of this debate of how you could sort of characterize what happened during the debate. You're talking about headlines across the country, but you're also talking about concern among Democrats. What are you hearing from your sources? And is this something that President Biden can't bounce back from, or is there enough time before Election Day?
Well, there certainly is time before Election Day, Tom. There's no doubt about that. But I think what Chuck said hits the nail on the head. There is widespread panic among Democrats. I got a number of text messages this evening, Democrats reaching out to say this is difficult to watch. Where does this go from here? One Democratic lawmaker, Tom, going so far as to say this race is effectively over. On that question, the buzz that has started about whether or not there would be an open convention, this lawmaker saying, look, the belief is that Democrats will be loyal soldiers. They will continue to back Biden for as long as he is in this race. But that really captures, Tom, the level of panic that I think you are seeing inside Democratic circles. Again, just to stress, look, the president got off to a halting start. He seemed to lose his train of thought at various moments. He seemed to give Trump openings when there weren't any. He was talking about abortion and pivoted to the issue of immigration, which allowed Trump to just get in there and then, of course, level his number of attacks, many of them unsubstantiated, against the president. I was talking to one Democrat who said when the president was speaking from his heart, that's when you saw the most fire.
Eat a dick. I'm done with these bitches. I can't do it no more.
Yeah, they ain't gonna have the panel they had beforehand up there.
Yeah, I can't do it. I just can't do it. That bitch is annoying.
They're all crying and panicking right now.
Yeah, I don't want that bullshit no more.
I don't think they panicking. I think they know they lost the election already.
The election is not lost, sir.
No. It's done.
They lost this candidate.
I don't understand how y'all don't see this shit. The writing on the motherfucking wall.
If you lose the candidate right now, you lost the election.
No,
I'm gonna tell you.
No,
they still got time. They got enough time.
Yeah, they still haven't had their convention.
Yeah,
they got all summer to ramp somebody up.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is they don't have a lot of good choices.
That's the problem. Because I'm telling y'all, I'm not gonna say Biden lost. I ain't gonna say Biden as much. Listen, that motherfucker stayed in the goddamn basement majority of the fucking 2016 election. 2020 election. What are we doing here?
Yeah, and this is the kind of shit they were trying to hide from people.
Absolutely, we already know that. But here's the problem, right? The motherfucker still won by cheating. So unless we're gonna do something about the cheating that goes on, it doesn't fucking matter the way he performs. It has to be an overabundance of motherfuckers voting for Trump for this not to fucking take out for Biden.
Or people not showing up.
Or people not showing up.
Old man.
Or hear me out. Here's another one. Robert Kennedy taking a majority of the votes. Because he's still an independent or Democrat, whatever you want to call it. He's still in there. He's still in the race. We don't speak about him, but he's still in the race. He should have been up there on that debate stage, not Joe Biden. So
he's not running as a Democrat.
I know he's running as an independent, but it goes back to what I said before. If you don't think these goddamn Democrats is gonna cheat, you outside your motherfucking mind.
Well, number one, his voice would never hold up for an entire debate. I
can't take
honest to God, dude. Honest to God. I'm not making fun of the man. I'm just telling the truth.
Nah, I'm making fun. That nigga voice is fucked up. It's okay, man.
His voice would never hold up for a debate.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it might not. It might not. But
if Biden can stand up there, his voice can stand.
No, sir.
Dude, his voice cracks on a goddamn slow ass interview that's lasted for an hour and 10 minutes. It's horrible, sir. It's horrible.
It's an old school boom hammer.
Are you saying it's weaker? Are you saying it's weaker than Biden's health?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
His voice is horrible.
I mean,
on a good day, it's horrible.
It'll make you tune the fuck out because it's so fucked up. You be like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Because you lose it because the way his voice sounds. He to me, he can't be an effective communicator because of his voice.
Yeah. And it sucks. It's a disability. It's an issue, but it is what it is.
Oh, gotcha.
But I don't like him because he's a greenie anyway.
Yeah, he's a tree hugging son bitch. And to each their own. Everyone got their elements. Everyone got their other shit. But it's just, I know I could. All I'm saying is he's gonna have to steal a lot of votes, and the Democrats gonna have to steal just enough to make sure Trump loses. And it's possible. It's really possible because we already know the courts are not taking up any motherfucking cases after the election because, like they said, before the election was supposed to start, you were supposed to put in your information about what your evidence of fraud. That's why most of his shit had no standing to begin with. He was on the timetable. Or
all this new voting was elected in by the legislatures.
Absolutely. So to say it, and most of it is now it's ingrained in the law. So they legalize cheating. they effectively legalize fucking cheating, and then you got 11.
And the Republicans, but the Republicans haven't done any great thing either.
Absolutely,
like mass training people to be election officials, to be poll watchers, that kind of thing.
I'm with you. I said this before. They haven't done enough to effectively change anything from 2020. They haven't. I'm sorry, but I mean, to each his own. Everyone thinks Trump's gonna win. Good luck. I guarantee you he loses because I got 60 on it, and I'm gonna be throwing that $60 off my white woman's non-huge ass. Okay, we're gonna be all ones tossing that ass. Yeah.
she gonna drop kick you for that.
That's okay. You don't have no huge ass. Stop it. You got a white girl booty. It's okay. I got the nigga ass. Yeah. What black girl ass?
Oh my God.
I got childbearing hips. Right.
Oh my God. I got an email from Kamala Harris about Joe Biden.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
Isn't that nice?
Isn't that nice?
I ain't know you was a Democrat, Mayo.
We would support him.
No, sir. They have to pay for every email.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, y'all. It is going on 11:30. We're gonna get up out of here. If y'all want to stand back, we're gonna stand back and talk a little bit before I leave off here. But we are done for the day. LA show tomorrow. I know they're not doing the jury trial tomorrow. So I'm not jury trial, the trial tomorrow. So I know he has his locker room talk. Make sure you bring your alcohol, bring your blunts. It's Friday. You ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do.
Yeah, we get fired on your day off.
Yeah, we're gonna tune into LA show, the locker room talk, and we'll have some fun. Someone came in here. Oh, that was Mama. Other than that, we are up out of here. You guys have a wonderful night. Peace.